scouters say about their subscriber count?
It's 9,010.
Wait, so you mean
Yes, Nappa. It's
It's
over.
over?
It's over 8,000!
What eight? Wait, what?
There is a story so strange in its implications that it defies ordinary classification. Blacker than black times infinity.
You are now listening to the smooth, dank sounds of Blacker Than Black times infinity. I am your host, your boy Blue. On my left is Cronus.
Dave Chappelle did nothing wrong.
Sure didn't. On my right is nobody. Because everybody is either late or they pretend like they got kids and not coming to work. I'm reporting to HR.
So Stitch and Old Ninja will be here shortly, so don't worry. And then we'll get along with the normal show that we do. But we had to start semi on time. We couldn't wait for them to come through.
Now we have to bring this dankness for you guys if you're listening live. But if you're listening to this recorded, you're like, oh, okay. It still was posted.
Yeah, we're still up. We're still, live streaming on time. So we'll wait a few minutes to do the normal show. We'll just bullshit for a minute. So, Blue, how is home ownership so far?
Dude, it's a lot of fun. First of all, walking around my house naked is the best thing ever.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't have to worry about fucking in-laws and shit, like poking their head out when I'm walking through the bathroom or some shit.
Until you have kids and you can't do that shit no more.
I'll still do
They
it.
go to bed.
I'll raise them wild. Wild and free. Fucking, they don't have to go to school or anything. No, I'm not gonna do that. But no, it's cool like that, and like kind of going around doing home improvement stuff around the house. I think last week was the first time I ever had to take out the trash. I did it when I was a kid, but like as a homeowner, it's fucking different.
Oh, you don't take it like a dumpster.
Yeah. We have the roller ones. Yeah. When I was in apartments, we had like dumpsters and stuff like that. But this one actually, I had to roll out the 3 bins, one for recycling, one for lawn clippings, one for trash. Yeah. That was kind of cool. But since it's just the sweetness and I, we have this like tiny, dinky little fucking trash can. Yeah. So we have like, I think they said it was like a 10 gallon trash can or something like that.
Yeah, the standard one's super small. And so like, when I first moved back to America, in the Bay Area, the bins are like way smaller than they are in like SoCal, at least, where I lived in SoCal. And so when I moved here, I would throw parties all the time, and the trash bins were so small. Like I would have to it would take me like literally 2 or 3 weeks to get rid of all the trash.
Oh shit.
And so I had to upgrade my trash service to get like a bigger bin. So now everywhere I go, I get a bigger bin just in case. Because they give you a small trash bin, but the other bins are like big.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like I think my one for my recycling and one for my lawn is like 90 gallons or some shit. It's like 10 times the size of my trash one.
Yeah, it's bullshit. I mean, you can pay extra. I mean, for me, there's only 2 of you, so it's not really a big deal.
No.
But if you have like all that stuff to throw away, it's really fucking annoying.
Yeah.
So like I have to sit there and like wait weeks or take it to the dump. So when you go to the dump, you got to pay a bunch of money. It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, and I guess we also have like at least the previous owners left a composting thing, so we have the option to compost, and like underneath our sink there's a little composting trash can we can throw shit in, and then take it out to the compost, which is kind of convenient, but
that's good if you want to like grow vegetables and fruits and stuff.
Yeah, well, I got a bunch of fucking trees in my backyard, and plants and all kind of crazy shit back there.
Well, trees they seem cool, but if they're like on the lines where like your your water lines go and all that shit, it can be a pain in the ass. Because that's why I was happy. Like this place that we have, there's no trees on the property, and there's nothing in the line of like our sewer lines. 'Cause I've been to houses before where like you get a root in the sewer line and it's a shitload of money to fix.
Yeah.
So you got to like dig up the whole line and shit and replace it. It's a pain in the ass. So now we live in the same city now. So it's great.
Man. So I've been living in my house the last 2 days, and it took me like maybe 8 minutes to get here. There's like no fucking traffic.
Yeah. You just gotta come down Mission.
But before I had to like take 880 from Fremont and then exit like Jackson Street and deal with all that bullshit traffic. But yeah, I actually went and got food like around. Normally I leave my house like at 7 to get here, but I left like at 7:32 or some shit to get here, and got here like at 7:45.
Yeah, not bad. And you got to play with little Riley on Snapchat.
Little kids love the hell out of Snapchat.
They do, and I can't fucking stand Snapchat. I don't even have it installed on my phone.
Well, it's funny because I used a baby filter on her, and nothing changed.
This is already a baby.
Yeah, it's like I was expecting her to be like even younger or some shit, but no, it was just her.
Makes her into a fetus or some shit.
Yeah.
Like a couple of atoms. No, but it's cool. Like doing the home ownership thing. You have any plans for the house?
We're gonna just painting. Like we're gonna paint the outside. We need to redo the windows because they're like old, not aluminum, but like they're metal frame.
Okay.
Windows, like the kind you have to like turn a little fucking crank for it to open up.
Oh, super old school.
Yeah, and you crank it back. It's actually pretty nice having it, except that you know the window screens are on the inside of the house, where normally it's only like on the outside.
Yeah.
But it works, but it's like the screens kind of flop around, so you don't really get a good seal on the window, and so like bugs get in. Yeah.
I remember when I first moved in here, like nobody was here yet, and I was doing something in the house, and I opened up a window, and there was no screw in the window. I didn't know, and a fucking bird flew in.
Oh shit!
Like right to the window. Luckily, it flew into into the blinds that go to the to my back door, sliding glass door, and so I trapped it in there. And then I got to fly out after like closing the
sliding door.
Well, I opened the sliding door and then I started slowly closing the blinds because I couldn't fly out of the blinds.
Okay,
it was like too heavy for it to get out.
Yeah.
And so once I moved it over, then I had to like hit the blinds to like get it to move.
Yeah.
And like eventually it flew out, but it was like a huge pain in the ass. Because if it like flew further in the house, I'd been like, well, fuck, I don't know how to get this thing out. You know.
Guess you live here too now.
Yeah. Shit. I guess I got a bird.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And now we got I think we have mice in the attic. They're not in the house, but they're in the attic. It's either mice or something bigger. It might be something bigger.
Well, at least it's not like a fucking deer in your attic.
Yeah, no. Actually, the deer stay in like over the fence. So
yeah,
it's kind of nice.
I told you about I think I told a story about the whole deer situation.
Might be the same school of deer that I see.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I don't know if you guys are live or not.
Yeah, we're live. Oh, okay. We had to start. Yeah.
Yeah, we got Stitch and Old Ninja showing up on CP time.
I mean, we could do CP time, but that was 10 minutes a little too late.
Yeah.
CP time. Be waiting another hour.
Yeah, PP time.
So how y'all doing?
Good.
We're just bullshitting about homeownership. We haven't actually started the show, but well, I mean, the show started. We're live, but
okay.
There are people looking and watching.
Yeah.
So
and listen.
Yeah, we didn't get attacked by a wolf, so.
Well, that's always good.
Yeah.
Wait, Valerie Harper died?
Yeah, she died.
Holy shit, she's like the first celebrity I ever met.
Really?
Yeah, it's because she did that show.
Valerie's Family?
Yeah, Valerie's Family. Like, so, before Oninja goes to the story. So, my family and I were down in LA, and our van broke down in Beverly Hills. Good place to fucking break down one thing. And this woman came over, and she was like, hey, have you seen, like, a dog running around? We're like, oh, no, you haven't. And she's like, I can't remember what she said, but, like, I remember thinking, like, that woman looks so familiar. And she, like, left, and then she came back, and she was like, are you guys okay? Or like, oh, yeah, we're just having car problems. And she was like, oh, let me see if I can get somebody to come and help you guys. So she actually came over, like, she actually talked to us, signed autographs and stuff like that before she left. But, yeah, she actually was there to help us out.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's like the opposite of my sister's story about Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
She really hates that chick.
Yeah. I've heard that story about Jamie Lee Curtis. It's actually quite.
It's a great fucking story.
Yeah.
Bitch, who is you?
All right, gentlemen, since now you're here, we can start the official show. Let's see. Listener of the week would be... I don't even have it up yet. That's a shame. Right?
Well, who's the first in the chat?
First in the chat would be, I think it was Tracy. Oh, no, it was Warrior Fella. What's going on, Warrior Fella? Thank you for joining us.
What up, dog?
Sierra Green is in the house, and also so is Tracy Irvin. Appreciate you all joining us in the live stream. Listener of the week would be Ketut Ariana, I believe. And I think he's from Indonesia because those numbers line right up. So thank you very much for listening to the podcast. We really appreciate it. And I think you're our first listener in Indonesia. If you're not, I don't know.
How does that line? How does that line go by Snoop Dogg where he's like something about Indonesia, something about weed? I can't remember how it goes.
Isn't it Indo weed?
I can't remember how the lyric go in the song. Let me see if I can look it up.
So on that note, we'll segue back to Valerie Harper, pouring out some. We'll pour out some, I guess, some champagne for Valerie. She's best known for her work on the Mary Tyler Moore Show, for her character, and her character on the show also got a spin-off back in the 70s. In the 80s, she had her own show called Valerie, where she played Valerie Hogan, but she was fired from the show. She sued NBC and the production company that fired her. She won her case against the production company, but the show went on without her, and they renamed the show Valor's Family. And then after that, when they brought in Sandy Duncan, they renamed the show the Hogan Family. So, yeah, she was nominated for Golden Globes, Emmys, Tony Awards. She was a dancer before she started doing acting. She was diagnosed with lung cancer in 2009 and was given 3 months to live. And then her cancer cells reached her brain. That's why they told her that she was probably not going to make it. But then here she was in August 22nd, 2019. She passed away due to her illness. She died 8 days after her birthday. She was 80 years old.
God damn.
And then another shout out to Gordon Bresick. He's an Emmy Award-winning writer and producer for a lot of cartoons like the Animaniacs, Pink and the Brain, The Smurfs,
Yeah, I saw that.
Tiny Toon Adventures, and more. He was 68.
Was he also a voice actor?
I don't think so. He might have been. But
No.
I saw that he's won awards for his writing and producing.
I thought there was a voice actor who does the voice of different characters. Like a few anime characters passed away this week too. I can't think of his name.
Quick look.
The voice of not Vegeta, but there's a voice actor from
Like he does the voice of the
Adult Swim on Toonami.
Yeah, he did the voice of the guy with the green and white hat from Bleach.
Yeah. I forget his fucking name now.
I have to look it up.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right.
Where we at?
So what are we talking about? Let's talk about CRX. Since you guys went, I did not. How was the Crunchyroll Expo?
I think I'm the only one that went from here. It's me and the
Oh, shit.
Oathbreaker.
Okay.
So, there was no problem getting my pass this time. So that
That's
worked.
good.
That was a plus. We got to meet Bianca.
Chopa?
Who I believe that's her last name. She was the organizer for all the press and for all pretty much a lot of the con. Though she took care of the press stuff, she took care of a lot of the press events for us to interview, like the writers, directors, actors, artists, all that. She was our go-between. She visited the press room a lot, make sure that we were comfortable, make sure that everything was okay. She made it clear that if there was an issue, we can go to her and she would take care of it and whatnot. Shout out to her. She was putting in work.
Yeah, we ran into her at not Crunchyroll, but at San Diego Comic Con. We watched the panel and that's where I met Amy. And she was super sweet. She made sure that we were able to get in and make sure we were comfortable and everything. Yeah, she was a really nice lady.
Yeah, she was on top of her stuff. She made sure that everyone was taken care of. The Oathbreaker, he did most of the interviews. He handled all the interviews or whatnot because they were limiting, kind of like at San Diego Comic Con, like one person per outlet could only go to like certain events. There are other ones where you could have like more than 2 people or whatnot, but mainly our celebrity stuff, which you'll see later on because I think it's all audio only, which we'll post later on. But everything went pretty smooth. There was a good amount of people there. I was actually kind of surprised. This looked bigger than last year. I think it's their third year doing this.
Mm-hmm.
So
no, third year.
Is there third?
Yeah, it's the second year at San Jose Convention Center.
What about to say? Okay.
You know, it's always nice to have good people that deal with the press. I remember, like, the first person we dealt with was Stacy Miles, and she was the person that basically got us into like doing conventions because we did. I think it was SVCC was our first one, Silicon Valley Comic Con, and then from there she was like, "Oh, I think you'd be interested in SVVR," and then like that's when we started going to like all these conventions because basically she hooked us up and got us into like all these conventions, and then from there it just kind of kept going and going. But yeah, there's definitely some that are way better than others, like the ones that help us out and like get us going. But there's some we're just like whatever, kind of just like whatever, like. But we're obviously not going to name names. Right. But when they do it right, it's definitely appreciated.
Yeah, it was way different than the other press. Like, usually the press rooms that I've been to, they just leave you to your own devices.
Yeah.
No one really checks in. Someone just comes in, refills the coffee, the tea, and stuff like that. But it's usually just an area for you to gather your notes, post your material, charge your phones, charge your laptops, and then like a little rest area with a bit of amenities. But this one, there was actually like a coordinator, and Bianca was that. So it worked out. She would check in like once an hour or whatnot. She'd always come in with someone, or she'd always come in with the itinerary and be like, hey, this next person's on the docket. when get your stuff ready, pretty much, and I will take you to them type thing.
Yeah.
So that worked out really nice. Versus like other cons, I get it because they're bigger than Crunchyroll Expo, but I mean, I think it's still better that they would have someone like her role be a coordinator instead of us trying to ask people, where is this, where is that, where do I go?
Especially because when you ask other staff, they don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's like super frustrating. Or like trying to ask like, hey, where can I find this and that? And it's just like, oh, I don't know. Or like, where's your press line? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's the fucking worst.
Yeah, it's kind of irritating. But this one worked out pretty well. I managed to walk the floor. There was a lot of anime stuff going on. They had like this weird like dance like a dance off type thing. They had like a dance floor type thing where they had a DJ in the center of like the entryway, not even onto the con floor, but there's like this DJ booth, and they had like this huge like dance floor where they were doing like the shuffle, they were doing like the cha-cha, and then they were playing like anime songs or people losing their fucking minds to anime things. They were like trying to fake fight in the middle of stuff. It was like super crazy. There was a lot of good cosplay there. There's a good amount of people there. It was also, like I said, pretty hot. I only went for one day, unfortunately, but I mean, there's so much going on. I think they're just gonna get bigger next year. I was surprised talking to some people there. There's a lot of people that came from like SoCal, like super North Cal, and out of state. Mm-hmm. There's people that came out of state to come to this expo. They were super excited. They were here to see new stuff, see voice actors, animators, and people from Crunchyroll at this event. So it was really exciting to see and meet people like that that like traveled all this way to come to this event. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think for even for like Silicon Valley Comic-Con, like a lot of people come from out of town for that shit too. Mm-hmm. Like this one girl I met who I did a photo of, her name slips my mind, but she's hot as hell. But yeah, I think she was from like Washington or something like that. Not Washington, but like Utah, or somewhere far. But yeah, she was pretty cool too. But I'm actually really surprised with how many people travel to such. I wouldn't say Silicon Valley Comic-Con is a small event, but it's not like a big one like your San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah,
it's not. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to get on the San Diego level because they have their associate. Well, they have their associations with other hotels, because where San Diego is, there's multiple hotels down there.
Well, so, I mean, San Jose does it like too. Like some of the conventions they have it like Fanime. They had a lot of their events were in different hotels. Like
However, San Diego has more hotels than like San Jose does in their downtown area. Yeah. They have their opportunity to, because they're building big ass skyscrapers, but I think that's like condos and shit. But I mean, there's just way more opportunity to house more like exhibitors at San Diego versus like even San Francisco. Like the Moscona Center, it's a big ass center, but there's not that many hotels around there. God dang.
I'm serious. Like their shit about, oh, we're not going to have these conventions that are not professional conventions anymore. Yeah, fuck them. Like they lost their WonderCon. They lost San Francisco Comic Con. You know what I mean? Because it's in Oakland now.
Yeah.
So, because they want to be bitches about it, because it used to be in the Moscone Center, and they just want to do all this professional shit. But it's like, dude, like, why are you doing this?
I think they just want tech stuff.
Yeah, it's dumb though. Like,
money's money. Shit.
Yeah. I don't get it. And the city in general, we've talked about it before, but it's been like on the decline for like years now. With like all their not taking care of the city, they're bringing in all this fucking money, but they're not taking care of the city, or the homeless problem, or the drug problem, or all this shit. They just, where's the money going? So.
One interesting that came up about Crunchyroll. It didn't happen at Crunchyroll, but I guess it happened in one of the hotels where I guess there was a suicide attempt or something.
Oh, I think someone committed
suicide. Yeah,
it
was in the Fairmont. Yeah, it actually affected
That's
other
someone
people.
died.
Yeah.
It was a hazmat.
Yeah, people got sick too.
Yeah.
It was like 9 people.
I didn't see the specific details on.
Yeah, I didn't see the specific details. All I saw, well, the headlines were misleading because it's like, oh, Crunchyroll 9 sick or something like that from suicide attempt. I'm like, what the hell? What's going on at Crunchyroll?
So what I only saw one report, but it was one from the local news that someone used some kind of gas.
Yeah.
To kill themselves in their hotel room, but the gas got out of the room, and affected workers from the hotel and goers of the event, where they had to be sick and go to the hospital.
Mix like ammonia and bleach or something.
Some shit, something. I don't remember the exact chemical compound, but it was enough for them to kill themselves with.
Yeah.
It was found by a hotel worker. They're like, hey, this room smells, and people were getting sick and coughing and stuff, so they like evacuated the spot and they rushed people to the hospital and whatnot. So, yeah, it was a terrible, terrible thing to hear about.
Yeah. So, kind of jump back to R.I.P. So the guy I was speaking about was his name was Michael Lindsay. Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Yeah. So he did the voice of Kisuke in Bleach and Kankuro in Naruto.
What's his last name? It's Kisuke something, right? Uhura or something like that?
Yeah, Uhura.
Yeah.
Urahara? Yeah, something like that.
Urahara.
But what the character he played in Naruto was the one that did the string puppets. The one that was Gaara's kind of older brother.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was that guy. But he also did, he was also voiced for Digimon. He did Akira.
Kankuro or something like that, right?
Yeah. Mobile Suit Gundam, Outlaw Star, Scry, and Big O, and a bunch of other ones. So he's kind of big in the anime world as far as doing voiceover work. But R.I.P. to him. It doesn't say how he passed away, but he was young. He was only like 53.
Damn.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Damn.
Well, yeah. All right. Let's move on. So PSN Plus games dropped yesterday, and it was Arkham Knight and Darksiders 3. So I was looking forward to playing Darksiders 3 because I'm a huge fan of the series. And Darksiders 3, I don't think I'm gonna play that fucking game.
Why? What the fuck?
I got fucking pissed. So I'm playing this game, and you're playing as Fury, like one of the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. She has a whip. Seemed pretty cool. It's a little more difficult than the previous games, but I'm like, whatever, because I'm playing on hard mode. And the first boss that you fight is like right away. So in the first like 5 fucking minutes you fight a boss.
The fuck?
So I literally died like 3 times. I'm like, all right, that's fine. I fucking died, whatever. But like when I first died, like the first time, it put me back to like the very beginning of the level. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
is this like that Dark Souls game?
No, it's not like Dark Souls.
Oh.
But I feel like they punish you like it.
And then I was playing some more. I was doing good. And then I got pretty far on a level, and I died again, like kind of out of nowhere. And then it put me back at like the very beginning of the level, and I was just like, "What the fuck?"
You have to manually save?
No, there's no manual save button.
Oh, Jesus.
So I'm like, dude, like, no.
What is this, coin-operated machine or some shit?
What the fuck bullshit?
25 cents.
You can't put me at the beginning of the goddamn level if I died. It's like,
that's rough.
It seems like it's an unnecessary punishment to a gamer to like put somebody back at the total beginning of the level for no fucking reason.
Especially in this day and age and shit, like.
Yeah, where we don't really need load screens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's not good.
What game was this again?
Darksiders 3. So if y'all, it's free on PSN Plus, so go ahead and play it. If you never die, then I guess great. But if you die, you're gonna be like, dude, what the fuck? I have to go back and play all this shit again?
Does it at least look cool?
It's okay.
Oh, okay.
It's not like the greatest looking game, it's a Darksiders game. They're fun. It's kind of like I think the first one was probably the best because it was kind of like a Zelda game. Mm-hmm. But it's fun to play, but the other games when you died, like there was no like huge penalty on it. And also like another thing that's bad too is I don't know if it's because I'm playing on hard or not, but like you'll die after like just a couple of hits. Like I would say probably like 5-6 hits, you're dead. So yeah.
It got pretty good reviews. Like 7 out of 10 on Steam.
Yeah.
7 out of 10 on IGN.
And I'm pretty sure we'll look up Metacritic. Like see what this.
Metacritic got to be at 64%.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure people they're gonna complain about the same things. It's like the penalty of death is like too fucking extreme.
Yeah.
Well, hasn't this game been out for a little while?
Less than a year. Like I don't mind. Obviously, when you die, obviously you need to have some sort of point that you go to, but not the beginning of the level. Like when I said like the beginning, it's like when you reach a new area, like it'll put you back to where you first found the area, and it's like what the fuck? Like how the fuck did I even get back to where the fuck I was? Like.
I've been playing a lot of Daisy, and they punish you like that. But it's obviously a much different game because you're dealing with a lot of PvP stuff.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah.
Like you're not looking for because like obviously you have to find shit in this game. So it's like just remembering like where the fuck you went is like difficult, and the map isn't that great. So yeah. Anyway, so
but it's free 99.
It's free.
Yeah. Well, if you pay for PSN, it's free.
Yeah, PSN Plus. Yeah.
And what other game came out for PS Plus?
Arkham Knight. Which that one that's a 10 out of 10. So.
Great fucking game.
I still think those are, to me, that series is like the best video game.
Yeah.
Superheroes of comics. So
For sure.
I mean, Spider-Man was good, but Arkham Knight did the combat way better.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
way fucking better. There's no argument on that shit. And the same thing with the story was just as good as Spider-Man on the PS4.
The one thing I like about the Spider-Man game is the way that the characters look. They kind of look kind of weird for this kind of day. I mean, even though the environment's really large, but like the animation for like the cutscenes and stuff like that, it wasn't that well done, in my opinion. Like, I don't know, it looked pretty, I don't know, old style animation for a game. You know what I mean?
Says the guy wearing a Batman shirt. And just
Of course.
saying.
I mean, I love the game. The gameplay and stuff was fun, but just the cutscenes was like, what the hell?
No, I got it. You know, the thing was that people kept praising the combat in the game, and I said it from the beginning. Like the combat, I mean, it was good, but you could tell they basically just took notes from the Arkham series. And they were just like, oh, just leave this part out, like the part where you can like easily use your gadgets. And like in this game, like using your gadget, it was like so clunky. You had to like basically pause the fucking game to use the gadget. It was so
It goes
annoying.
like slow down,
Yeah.
really slow.
It
and
goes
stuff,
bullet time. And what's messed up, if you're in a heated battle, you're taking hits and damage while you're in this little screen.
Yeah.
So I was like, what?
So you basically had to have either your go-to gadget or just use the normal shit. That's all. I just use the normal shit.
Yeah,
I just used my
Pretty much,
ultimate.
yeah.
I just had it to where my ultimate like charged like really fast and just fuck people up with that.
I'd rather use my ultimate. Like in all most games that I play, I would say that's probably one of my problems that I don't use like ultimate attacks like hardly at all.
I always use that because I like watching people get fucked up.
Well, my favorite thing with the Batman games is like when you find a gang of guys and stuff like that, and right before you knock out that last one, it slows down and you get that boom
Bullet time,
yeah. That shit always made me happy.
And that's how you knew that was the last guy.
Yeah, that's how you know it was the last guy.
Because you're like, oh.
Are you do like a super move? If you get the super move done correctly, where you can like suplex the guy or like break his arm or some shit like that.
Oh,
Shit's
yeah.
great.
That was great.
Or string him up. And just
I like countering like a ton of people because I was like, I didn't know you can chain your counters.
Oh,
I thought
yeah.
you could do it one at a time.
You start fucking up.
Yeah, because then you like block 1, 2, then 3, and then you slap all of them together. And then if you were having a hard time, you can always use your smoke grenade to like escape. And it was worked out pretty dope.
Oh man, Breaker of Oath posted this video today from one of the Batman games.
Oh,
and
yeah.
somebody fucking, whoever this is, your mama's a hoe. They switched the Batman and Catwoman characters. So Batman comes walking into the screen all sexy and like shaking his hips and shit and like hella being a fucking tease to Catwoman. It was super funny, but your mama's a hoe.
Sounds like someone did on the PC.
That shit is great. That shit is great.
Great games. Totally great games.
So did you get to finish the Chappelle comedy?
Yes.
Oh man.
Yes. Have we all watched it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you watched
We
it?
don't. We doing this
God.
without the Oathbreaker.
Okay, so I'm just gonna preface this. Y'all know us on the podcast. Obviously, we talk a lot of shit, but what we're gonna talk about right now is definitely gonna like demonetize this entire fucking episode. Even though most of our episodes are demonetized anyway, but we're about to say we're gonna use some harsh language. At least I am, because there's certain jokes that he said on there that I think is
Language
harsh
that
language.
is used in the actual.
quoting.
We're
Yeah.
quoting. We're
Yeah.
quoting what this someone else, another artiste, has said.
So what did y'all think about overall about the special?
Dude, I thought it was one of his best work, to be honest. It was so, like, I was telling you earlier, I was in my room painting and listening to it. Just listening to it. I wasn't watching the video. And I laughed so hard, I almost fucked up the paint job. Like, my wall was blue, and I was painting white trim, but I was like, I almost put a fucking C on the wall. But I thought it was hilarious overall.
I really enjoyed it. All his comedy ones I really enjoy. I wish I could remember how I ranked them, but it was on par with how I didn't think it was anything over the top crazy bad or anything. I mean,
Yeah, I don't think it was bad, but it definitely, for me, it wasn't his best work by far. Killing Him Softly for me was his best work.
Oh, yeah.
like
that's
easily.
Bring a little crack on him.
Yeah, that shit was like his best work. Because it was like a non-stop barrage of just like,
this one where he talks
can I
about
fucking breathe, please?
the
I'm
Nick
laughing
Cannon
so
thing.
hard.
I think he has
No, it was before Nick
joke.
Cannon. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, but it was the one where he was like, he was skinny and he talked about like sprinkling crack on dudes after they got arrested,
Okay.
and he had a bunch of like really good jokes.
And
in that
he
one.
talks about the woman at the club dancing, and she was pregnant, and she's like, is that
Oh, that's with the baby,
Oh, yeah.
baby sunk in the club.
And women wearing hoe outfits.
Yeah.
And be like, just because I'm wearing this doesn't mean I'm a hoe. And like him walking around with like a policeman's uniform. Wait. Just because I'm wearing this uniform doesn't mean I'm a cop. So,
Yeah, actually, I'll say Killing Him Softly was probably one of his best works.
people forget about that though. Like,
Yeah, I
I
did.
think
I
people need to
forgot about
rewatch it. Don't get me wrong, I love this special, but it's for totally different reasons. So his social commentary right now is on point.
What do you think about Old Ninja?
Oh, I thought it was good, but I definitely say I don't think it's his best work. But I was laughing half the time. I think I was going between ha 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 to like, ooh, he said that pretty much the whole time. But I was still enjoying it. But a lot of the times, like, he would preface what he was about to say with like, well, I'm about to say this, but y'all keep getting mad, so this is why you get mad. Then he makes a joke about it, and then it's like,
I don't get. I mean, the whole point of a comedian is to just speak honestly and or whatever, just comment on stuff. I mean, it goes back to Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy, George Carlin. I mean, they've all sort of done it. I mean, they've picked their targets in terms of who it is that they're might be getting the bullseye or the brunt end of the joke.
Well, and it's, I mean, they're supposed to be. It's supposed to be funny. It's not supposed to be like, you shouldn't be watching comedy to figure out some lifelong truth to something.
To mold your thinking.
Yeah, you should just go to. Don't get me wrong. A lot of stuff that Dave Chappelle says, it's like it's based upon truth and it's thought provoking, but that's not where you're going to watch him or any other comedian for, unless it's like, most comedians, you're going there to fucking laugh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the whole point of going to see a comedian. So if they embellish upon some stuff or say something that is fucked up, they're doing it for the laugh. Yeah. It's not to convey some sort of, truth.
Right.
yeah.
I thought it was because
you got to remember we're in a different era. We're in the Me Too era, so where everyone's.
Hey, he's fucking up here.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Drugs.
Just like in the
just like in the special. Yeah.
Hey man, maybe my mom's dead.
Yeah, maybe his mom's dead.
Maybe it's babysitter.
Go ahead, answer it. That part was funny.
Yeah. I mean,
sound like your phone's gay or something.
No, it's funny.
But I didn't hear all of the buzz going into it. That I guess the whole controversy stuff. At least as loud as people are complaining about it when I had watched it, but I've seen over the past week or so that it's been out, people just been getting all
day
crazy.
one.
Now when it started off,
They're so mad about shit.
I was like, oh boy, because it immediately starts off I didn't know where he was going with the whole
Other Anthony Bourdain story.
Anthony Bourdain thing or whatever. I was like, oh boy.
I thought
that was the only time where I was like, oh boy.
I thought that shit was really.
I was like, we're 20 seconds in.
Yeah. But like when he first opened up with because I've heard other controversy about the show, and one of them was about that that like how could he talk about something like that? But it like led into a different joke. Like he explained like why he brought that up, which I thought was fucking hilarious.
I mean, the part that you should take from that is like you never know what's going on in somebody's life or whatever. He was like Anthony Bourdain. He was like he had the best job, just traveling over and eating good ass food or whatever. But you never know what someone's going through or dealing with mentally. But I guess people just fucking didn't catch that part of it.
Well, they leave out what these people try to do is they only will attach themselves to the part that offends them, but not listen to the other parts that are actually way more important. You know what I mean? Like everybody wants to talk about his LGBTQQA plus whatever the fuck
the alphabet people.
Oh,
so people get so mad about his joke about that, but they totally ignore his joke about. Not even a joke. This is just like fucking truth.
Yeah.
About him saying like the correlation between like the word faggot and the word nigger. Like how come I can't say the word faggot, but I can say the word nigger?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was talking about how like when he did the Chappelle show, how I guess not the FCCA but like there's some
they have
someone from HR.
It's basically an HR diversion of like
it's called like there's a name for it.
It's basically some kind of like ethics, like
standards and
standards
or
and
some shit.
Yeah, something like that.
Standards,
yeah. What she called
so
it.
basically, what Comedy Central would and would not allow, and he like talks about how, like Hernan said, he even asked like someone, I guess one day, like how come I can say this and not that, and they're just like, well, because you're one of those, I guess, kind of. Which she hinted at that. Like, basically, because
what she said
because
was,
you are, you can say this.
Well,
to paraphrase.
Yeah, let me just actual phrase it. She said that you can't say the word faggot because you're not gay.
Right.
And he's like, well, hold on. How come I can say the word nigger? He's like, I'm not a nigger.
Yeah.
He's like, that's how he put it. I don't like saying that word or the other word either. So.
But it's funny because
it's
like,
true.
Yeah, but what's funny to that, because like I saw the show today. And the fact that people are more mad about him, like, using the word, like, faggot and the R. Kelly and Michael Jackson thing, but Nobody's mad about him using the N-word. Like, use it a lot in the stand-up, but
and that actually goes to this point because people don't give a fuck. They just want to choose something to be offended about because they're part of some what they see up here, what they think is a marginalized group. Totally forgetting now that black people are still marginalized, like motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like way more marginalized to this day than most other groups out there. But they don't care because they happen to identify with this group. Therefore, and they might not even gone through any sort of harsh times whatsoever. Most people today haven't been called names like that, but you can look up on the internet. You still see plenty of stories of people getting called the N-word all day. You still see people getting shot by the cops, you being unarmed. I don't see any stories about some LGBTQAA plus whatever the fuck getting shot unarmed. You know what I mean? I don't see them having a huge problem living in poor communities. I don't see them having problems getting jobs as the same way as African Americans still do. None of that shit. But they want to have fake outrage over this shit, not even realizing that we still have problems that are. I don't want to say that I'm not going to oppression Olympics you guys, but we still have fucking problems in our communities. But you just want to ignore it.
yes.
To make it seem like you're more important than we are. Nobody's more important than anybody else. We all have our own fucking problems. Once you realize that we have all of our own fucking problems, maybe then you'll find this shit fucking funny.
And it was fucking funny. Like his whole story about the letter people and the car ride had me fucking rolling. That shit was so fucking funny.
Yeah, that was already
but it's kind
cartoon
of
about it.
yeah. Well, it's funny because I've heard from I have friends that are gay, and they would talk about how they're like the gay people are cool with the lesbians, but they don't understand transsexuals are people who are bi. I've heard a bunch of gay people say bi people are freaks. They're
yeah.
how can they have sex with everybody? What the fuck? That doesn't fucking go right. But
but yeah, that shit's funny to me. They don't understand something that when they're doing something that to a lot of people isn't normal. But I don't really give a shit. Mostly, I think if somebody's reasonable, they wouldn't care either way. You wouldn't think that. You might not understand why somebody's gay, but why does it matter to you? They're doing something that's consensual, so why the fuck would you give a shit?
Yeah.
Same thing with bi people. I don't give a shit who they're fucking. They're not gonna fucking who I'm gonna fuck, so I don't care.
Yeah, I don't get the I mean, I don't understand why they're so mad about it. Whatever. I mean, it's comedy. Sometimes you catch the joke or whatever.
Unhappy people, man. The
Yeah,
people that have they're just unhappy with their lives and they need something to complain about. Feel special.
Nothing that he said was putting down the letter people. People. I'm
The alphabet people. That's the best. That's gonna be the phrase now. The alphabet people.
Yeah, it's fucking funny. But
They
he
took
didn't.
over 20% of the alphabet.
That's all bad.
I was as soon as he said that, I was counting over. I was yeah, it's cool. Getting that right there.
Yeah. But no, he wasn't saying anything bad. He just talked about real world stuff. And it just fucking made sense.
It wasn't. I mean, I didn't perceive it as derogatory
No.
or
No.
Preaching hateful thoughts or fucking actions or doing stuff to that group of people. So
Exactly.
I don't see what the outrage is behind it.
But there's been multiple stories now of people saying that Dave Chappelle is a white supremacist, and I'm like,
I didn't even bother to click on that.
hold
I
the
was
fuck on.
That's not worth-
Yeah,
that's
hold the
not
fuck
worth
on.
reading.
not getting my click.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't get my click either.
Yeah,
I just kept on scrolling.
That's somebody that's totally irrational. Totally irrational.
Did you guys ever notice when he makes a transsexual woman joke, he always includes that he has some kind of sexual encounter with them? One of the specials, he talked about how he was dancing with a trans woman and he didn't know, and then he's like, well, let's finish the dance, and they finish the dance, and then he talks about how he fucked her tits later, and then how he left. And then this one, he talked about the Sticks and Stones special. He talked about another trans woman, and oh no, actually, this is actually the epilogue. Did you guys watch this part?
I didn't see that in the video.
So if you let it play past the credits, there's a Q&A session.
Oh, I didn't
yeah,
see
so
that.
mine didn't show that. I actually watched all the way to the end. It didn't show that part.
Yeah, it plays literally next. It's a whole separate video.
Oh.
Yeah, mine.
So
did
once
not play.
it ends, it'll load into the next thing, and then he talks about he's never done this before, but he does a Q&A. And it's weird because I tried looking it up, and I guess it's not its own separate thing. You have to watch or fast forward to the end, and then it'll kick in this Q&A session. But he lets people in the audience ask him questions. So he answered one of them about how he felt about delivering a transsexual joke. He talks about there was a trans woman in the audience. He asked if the joke was okay. Did it offend them? They said no. And then he talked about how it became a political thing. And then he talks about how they made out. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, the crowd was cracking up. And then he moves on to other stuff.
Well, see,
So-
that's the funny thing
common,
is it's obviously a joke because he's been married for like the longest fucking time.
To a hot Asian chick.
Yeah, so there's no way
He
that
made
that
fun of
act-
her too.
Yeah, which he did. This
and his kids.
Yeah.
didn't pull no fucking punches. But people, they gloss over that shit too.
Yeah.
Like they didn't even make fun of. They didn't even like crucify him over his Asian joke.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that shit was the most offensive thing that was on there for me.
Yeah,
It was just
Yeah,
like,
that's
dude,
pretty
face.
offensive.
yeah. But in context, though, you know, I mean, obviously did it right, but it was just like, you're really gonna go there with the big teeth and the fucking
Yeah,
shit. I was like,
but
damn,
this
dude.
is how I feel inside. Oh my
What if, you
goodness.
think, what if you were an Asian trapped in a black body?
Yeah, and I mean, he says that joke makes his wife mad. He said he only pulls that out on her when they really fighting.
Fighting. Oh shit!
My
And
goodness.
when he said that, I was like, I don't think I can do shit like that with the sweetness and like pull out some like Mexican shit because it's like I can't even think anything I could do.
Stuff he was saying with like the school shootings, I was cracking up laughing.
That had me
too.
fucking laughing.
That shit was all bad.
He was saying that the kid was going to be taking notes. Or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, where we meeting up again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once he said that, I was like, holy shit, that's so fucking obvious because like a lot of a lot of people who shoot up the schools are the fucking
Yeah.
students.
And then when he was like, when he was buying the gun or whatever, and with the buckshot, and,
Yeah.
and he was like,
With
he started shaking the box.
Pepper them up.
Pepper 'em up.
Pepper them up real nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about the meth guys, that
Oh.
meth yellow
Oh
skin.
yeah,
When he talked about
that part's so funny. He's all that's not heroin, that's meth. And
Yeah,
he popped back up unscathed. I died laughing. The whole crowd was dead. I was like, oh shit.
oh, you shot me, bro. But no, when he talked about when he talked about fucking Juicy Smoke.
Oh, Juicy Smollett.
That
See,
shit was great.
I opened that was my opening in last week's cast. I guess nobody really got
I
that
didn't
part.
know, yeah.
But Juicy Smollett, and like at first I was like, he's not saying what I think he's saying. And sure enough, he kept going with it. I'm like, oh,
I didn't get, yeah, I
see.
didn't get that first either.
We called that shit on this podcast too. When it
Yes.
first got announced, we were all kind of skeptical about that shit.
Yeah, I mean, just like he said, when he was doing his little bit about the cop showing up to the scene,
Yeah.
like you went to Subway
At 2:00 in the
at
morning.
2 a.m. below freezing temperature.
Yeah.
And then people were
Okay.
talking shit about, black men are the problem, blah, blah, blah. They're not supporting
They're
this
no
dude.
support, yeah.
I'm like, it didn't fucking sound right.
Yeah,
It didn't sound right.
Like, we were
Nobody-
supporting by being skeptical.
Yeah.
that shit was fucked up.
He's like, where you gonna find rope in Chicago?
Yeah.
Well, also, who the fuck walks around with a literal fucking noose and a bottle of bleach in 16 degree below,
And how would they even know he was fucking going to the subway? Like,
And
I mean-
how would some MAGA hat wearing, well, he already covered it, but how would MAGA hat wearing dudes know that he was in fucking Empire?
Exactly. Unless they're watching Empire.
Yeah.
Which they would not
which
do.
is-
Yeah, which
would
is
not.
it's just that's super improbable. The cops knew it too. They just didn't want to make that shit public. Because they suspected him from the jump. They're like, something's not right.
Well, and that's what made it funny because he doubled down. He actually tripled down on that shit.
He did. And then when it got to like
went
the
all in.
he was going to the court stage, and when they're like, surrender your phone. So like, they were trying to help him. They're like, we're trying to help you catch these people. And he's like, no. They're like, well,
Well, no, they knew that shit didn't happen.
yeah, but
yeah.
he would not surrender his phone
Yeah.
to give up
Well,
text.
He started to turn it on the police department and be like, they're not helping me,
Yep.
blah, blah, blah. They're complicit in this.
The police came out and said that he's not helping.
And then they were like, oh, really? Well, you under arrest.
Yeah. All bad. So, Juicy Smollett.
Yeah, I might rewatch that.
I've
again.
literally seen this special twice.
well,
So-
did you guys talk about the Michael Jackson thing?
No,
No,
not
not
yet.
yet.
yeah.
But go ahead.
Well, I'll tell you, hold on. There was one thing that this one was missing. So, 2 specials ago, it was his first Netflix special. I don't talk about the second one because the second one actually, that one wasn't really that good because it was like basically him kind of fleshing out jokes and just talking to the crowd.
Yeah, he
But
was
the
Oh,
other
so
one,
that was
this-
one in Texas, right?
That one's in San Francisco. That's him at the punchline where he's smoking and he's just sitting on a chair and he talks about the pimp and hoe story.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
in San Francisco.
but I thought it was in the Comedy Store.
No, that was him in San Francisco, and that was like a last minute thing, and that packed because I think the Oathbreaker and myself were trying to go, and it didn't work out because it was like that, sold out,
I'll have to
easy.
look, but I was pretty sure that was in the Comedy Store. I'll look in a minute. But what this one was missing was in the first Netflix special, he had one of the greatest jokes of all fucking time.
Yeah,
and it was the one where he told the punchline first.
Yes.
And that shit, that was like, that's a fucking impossible joke.
I forget what the hell.
Let's kick him in the pussy.
Kick him in the pussy. Then I kicked him in the pussy.
Yes.
That shit was great. And this special, while it was funny, it had nothing even close to that fucking shit.
Yeah.
I forgot about that one. That
He's
was
like, let me tell you how I'm a comedian. I'm a
Comedic
comedic genius. I'm gonna tell you the punchline right now. And he told the fucking punchline at the beginning of the thing. And by the time he got to the fucking story, you done forgot about it until you fucking said it.
And then he
again.
drops the punchline and like everyone's like, oh shit.
But I guess another controversy with this. What's so funny is this comedy special was called Stick and Stones. Everybody knows sticks and stones may break my bones, but words would never hurt me. And there's a whole bunch of people who are getting hurt by his words, which kind of perfectly ties into the title of this comedy. But he talks about the whole Michael Jackson thing, how he doesn't believe Michael Jackson did it, but like he explains like kind of why he doesn't believe, but he does it in like a comedy way. It's like people like if you watch the HBO special, like people like kids were saying that like Michael Jackson was like looking at the buttholes, and that shit right there was funny enough. But then he talks about like the whole Macaulay Culkin thing and how like
he
even
talked
said
about
that
he would fuck
wasn't
Macaulay
the thing.
Culkin. That
Right.
was kind of.
He said something. He's said something about Michael Jackson before. I think about like when in one of the comedy specials, I think it was him or Chris Rock, but I think it was Chappelle talking about when they wanted him to describe the penis or whatever. He's like, oh, it's got fucking glitter on it or whatever stuff. Like
I think shit. I don't know who said that.
Yeah, I thought it was him, but I could be wrong. But I mean, I don't know if he actually. When comedians are doing their skits and everything, I don't really hold what they say with a lot of value if he thinks that whatever is innocent or guilty. I mean, he's just there to entertain me. I'm not there for him to give me some fucking political rally kind of.
Yeah, get you motivated to do some shit.
Yeah,
But
so I don't know if he actually really believes it or not or whatever.
So I'm gonna point this part out because I think this is extremely important because this is probably the first comic bit he says when he comes out and he says he's got like 2 impressions, right?
Yeah.
And he does one and it's like whatever. You're like, where did that come from? And then he does this other one where he points out if you do anything wrong in your life and I find out about it, I'm gonna try to take everything away from you. Who's this impression of? And he said, that's you. You are the cancel culture. You are the most butthurt culture like that. He's making fun of like everyone that's basically trying to come after him. He even talks later on about how he said something about Michael Jackson or Juicy Smoulier, and he said he thought he was going to get canceled because he wasn't showing support. He was just like, shit don't add up. So
what's funny too is that like this is a little bit on like what is it called, like kind of breaking the fourth wall shit, where you talk about how like if you're watching my comedy special right now on Netflix and you have an offense to it, well, guess what? You motherfucker clicked on my face. Like, you're the one that chose to watch this, and like, didn't you watch my last video or whatever? Like, you know who he is. Like, why would you even try to fucking watch it if it's something that he's gonna say something that's gonna offend you? But I was gonna talk about the R. Kelly thing. How he talked about how like they wanted him to kind of help out with the documentary they were doing on R. Kelly, and like he didn't want to do it. And the whole reason why he didn't want to do it is because he knew nothing about that motherfucker. Like, he didn't know anything about R. Kelly to even fucking like try to talk on that, which I thought was fucking interesting too. Because I mean, I know he did the Peel Me video on his fucking stand-up thing. Yeah. And then he did a remix to it.
Yeah. He even did the court thing. He was like, he would have to be holding up a picture, him and his mama saying that that's him while he's peeing. So he's
oh no, that was in Boondocks.
Oh,
I think I was skip from Boondocks.
Okay, I get my good comedies mixed up.
But yeah, overall, I thought it was a really good stand-up, and I understand.
Yeah,
how
I mean,
people
even people that he's like cool with, like the Louis C.K. incident, he talks about that, talking about how, like, how he thought part of the incident was ridiculous, like. That part was kind of crazy. I will never think of pancake butter the same way again. That's for sure. But it was just crazy.
Yeah, it was good.
Everyone was a victim, and I think he pointed out that he's been a victim as well, as far as the cancel culture and being called out and whatnot.
But he also like brought up some other topics that were really good. It's like the whole fact that
the abortion topic.
How like now I think the state that he was in, like
he's in Georgia.
In Georgia, is completely banned to having abortions and stuff like that.
I thought it was in Ohio.
He
from
lives in
Ohio.
Ohio,
Okay, yeah.
but he was doing a comedy stint in Atlanta, and they have the heartbeat law in that state. A very strict abortion law. So
Yeah, for my intro, I was gonna say that going to Hawaii isn't free. So you gotta watch the stand-up to find out about that.
But speaking of stand-up comedians, and Kronos and I talked about it, but they dropped that trailer for Bad Boys.
Oh,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Martin, Jesus Christ,
I know, and man,
Well, you know what makes it worse is I'm pretty sure Martin and
Will Smith.
Will Smith are basically the same age. So this is what
I
literally
have to look it up. I have no idea.
it can't be that they can't be more than 5 years apart.
Let's see.
Just
like,
seems like
seriously.
Martin's older, because I mean we've been watching Will Smith since he's.
Yeah, we've been watching Martin for a long time since he was like in the mid 90s.
So Martin Lawrence is 54.
We've never seen like Will Smith as like a teenager.
Yeah, we
like,
have.
I mean, like playing a teenager in Martin, he wasn't a teenager.
No.
Yeah, but you think of Will Smith, you seen him in fucking Fresh Prince going through Bel Air Academy and stuff like that, and obviously.
But he was an adult.
Yeah, he's an adult,
yeah.
but
Will,
yeah.
Will Smith is 50. So
Yeah,
50 and
so-
54.
Less than 5 years apart. So that just shows when you take care of yourself,
And when you got work, when you're not.
Well, I know Martin Lawrence has always had issues with his weight because I remember that one time he like passed out while he was like working out.
Well, he didn't
He had, like,
always.
that fat suit.
He didn't always have problems with his weight.
Well, I
He
mean,
just-
not problem,
yeah.
but he's
He hasn't been in good shape. I mean, that's for
Yeah.
sure. But he wasn't.
Yeah.
He wasn't fat, and he's fat now. I mean, it is what it is. He looks like Big Mama.
yeah.
Kind of just
With a
short and
goatee.
kind of stocky-ish
Yeah.
or whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
Bad Boys 1, he didn't look fat.
no.
No.
Bad Boys 2, I mean,
He
not
looked normal,
really.
yeah.
Looked normal or whatever. You could still, still he wasn't Will Smith. But
Yeah.
this one, he looks like he just needs to be behind a desk.
Well, and
the
I hope
police department.
they've got to make some fat jokes about it. I mean, if they don't address that,
Oh,
like,
man.
it wouldn't make any sense. Because
Yeah.
I mean, he's a comedian. He's got to make a joke about how he's gained weight over
It's
the
crazy.
years.
It reminds
Oh
me
wow, I did not know Will Smith's first name, like his full name. Guess what it is?
No idea, since I assume it's
I
not William.
thought it was William. But I guess not.
Yeah, I thought it was William too, but it's Willard.
Willard?
Willard?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
go by
Willard.
Will too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
makes
makes sense.
I always thought it was William Smith, but it's not.
It's William Smithard.
Yeah.
Michael Bay's
Junior.
not directing this, right? He did the first two.
It looked like Michael Bay. And
Yeah,
it's-
well,
I wasn't sure. I
the
didn't.
intro played on the Michael Bay thing with the whole like coming down
It
low
looked
and
like Michael
panning
Bay.
up.
Okay. Because
we can look it up.
I'm check right now.
I was like, because if he's not doing this, I was like, what's Michael Bay been up to? Because he
Transformers?
Well, I thought he pulled himself in the Transformer
Yeah,
thing.
but he's done like fucking 5 million of them.
He tried to, but then like
He wasn't on the Bumblebee thing, was he?
No,
Oh, thank
Okay.
God.
he's like a producer, but then when it did well, he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna come back. I need
Yeah.
to get this."
Actually,
he's
no, it's
not.
not.
There's
It's
two
a
people.
Jerry Bruckheimer producer, so
Okay.
the same feel to it. But
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
I was actually surprised that I like when this trailer dropped. I was like, oh shit, I guess they really did make this movie.
I didn't
I
know
thought it was
actually,
fake.
Yeah. When I saw the trailer, and I was like, okay.
Oh shit!
some people
Vanessa
are little-
Hudgens is in this film.
Oh yeah, there's a scene where I think she's like one of the people singing the Bad Boy song at the end.
Oh, that's what that was.
So
Okay.
Gabrielle Union.
Gabrielle Union is what? That was the sister of
Yeah, she
Will
was-
Smith's
yeah.
not
No,
Will
no.
Smith, Martin's
Yeah,
sister.
Yeah.
who was dating
who was
Will
dating
Smith's
Will
character.
Smith. Okay.
Yeah.
So she also is in a spin-off show with Jessica Alba on some cable network.
Bad Girls.
No, it's called LA's Finest.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Is it a spinoff of Bad Boys?
Yes, it is a spin-off because they show she is Sid. She plays the same character from Bad Boys 2. And then her and Martin's father character is played by Ernie Hudson.
Yeah.
So it's
Okay.
pretty interesting. But yeah, they actually reference her brother in the show. So
Yeah, well, the trailer dropped. There shouldn't be a fourth. I can't imagine a fourth one coming.
Well, this one even was a little hard to watch, to be honest.
I was like, I'm not really hyped for this.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because how old were they when he did at least the second one?
I'm still gonna watch
16
it. I don't give a
years.
shit. Y'all
Yeah,
hating
I'm
it,
still
so
gonna watch it.
I'm watching explosions and shit.
first one
I just
came
wanna watch
out.
explosions. Yeah.
I remember I was in like 5th or 6th grade, and then there was a big jump. I remember I think I was in college when the
Bad
second one
Boys
dropped.
2 came out in 2003. So
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
16 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do the math, I can't do the
When
math.
was the first one? First one was what, 1990?
99,
Three?
maybe?
I thought it was
Maybe 94.
97. I thought it was 97.
No, I was in elementary
Whoa.
school.
Yeah, that's
The
way
second,
back.
the
First
second
one.
one got 22% on Rotten Tomato.
What?
That's
You know what's funny to me?
When the first one comes.
So, when people talk shit about Rotten Tomatoes,
95.
about how Rotten Tomatoes is like ruining movies, it's not Rotten Tomatoes, all right? Rotten Tomatoes, it's a website that just it's an aggregate of all the fucking like top film critics and users that happen to comment on Rotten Tomatoes. It's not their fault if something has a low score.
yeah, it's true.
It's the fault of the critics. So people always jump on Rotten Tomatoes for that shit. It's like, Rotten Tomatoes does not rate films. They just give you like an average of like what everybody else is rating it and gives you like a number. So stop blaming Rotten Tomatoes. Blame the fucking shitty ass critics that give stupid ass scores to movies.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that with the David Chappelle thing.
Yeah. So
Kind of
apparently
jumping back.
it jumped up a little bit, but it was
It jumped up a lot.
Yeah, it was sitting at 0% for critics for like a couple days, probably like more than a week. It was only like 5 critics, and it was like really bad. And they were
people
like,
were just scared to comment on it? Or?
no, they're just being bitches. You know, they're just saying that, oh, you know, I came here for the truth. That's literally what one of the guys said. Let me bring it up right now.
But then
it
on
was
Twitter, they're blasting him, saying that he was lazy, he wasn't cutting edge, he wasn't being creative.
No, they're
A lot of these critics are.
No,
I never go by the critics' review. I usually go by the audience.
So one of these critics apparently had written about him. He was a PhD from the University of Texas. He said that he was lazy and he wasn't cutting edge.
I don't give a shit. Is a PhD? Is a PhD in fucking comedy? No,
I don't need
shut the fuck up.
You don't need a fucking degree to make me laugh.
Yeah. Well, let me see what I can find. So it's 9 critics so far, and it's sitting at 33%, and then it's 99% positive for the user score, and it's with 14,000 people. So
shit.
Let me find the one that I was talking about. Oh, here it goes. Is it the National Review? Yeah, he said the set mostly misses the mark. And what is the mark? The truth. Chappelle remains one of the most vital and certainly among the most daring of stand-ups. His latest hour is a setback. Like, the mark is not the truth for comedy. The mark is to make somebody fucking laugh, you fucking moron.
But like, he was speaking the fucking truth. Like,
Yeah.
true shit that he was talking about was shit he was fucking talking about.
But still, you shouldn't go to a comedy routine for the truth. Like, if you wanted the truth, you go to the fucking news. You know what I mean? That's what you should go to it for. But, I mean, he's writing for a news publication, so he should understand that, but he doesn't because he's a fucking moron.
But yeah, so I guess the Rotten Tomatoes had it at 0%, but now it's at 99%. Since the audience has been able
Well,
to.
no, it was 99. It was 0% for the
for the critics.
For the critics, and now it's at 33% for the critics. So,
But no, the audience didn't have an option to vote yet. I think that just got posted up today.
Yeah. It keeps getting updated, but now it's like more and more people are like giving it.
With 14,000 reviews, 99%. So
I don't know why there's not that many
critics. Yeah,
Yeah, that's why I was confused about it.
There's plenty of articles about him, like shitting on him. So, like if you look up Sticks and Stones right now, you'll see a whole bunch of like dumbass articles that don't make any goddamn sense. Like one of them said that Dave Chappelle is now part of the establishment. I'm like, fucking how?
I don't get it.
Yeah, they're saying, has Dave Chappelle gone too far? So I was just like, what?
No, he hasn't gone too far. He can go way further. I wouldn't mind if he did. I don't give a shit.
What's interesting, the first time I saw David Chappelle live, he was over at Shoreline, and he was like one of those comedy specials, and he actually didn't tell any jokes. He just fucking sat there and told stories. I mean, it was cool and all, but like, I was a little disappointed. I wanted to fucking laugh.
Yeah,
I didn't want stories. I wasn't ready to take it. I wasn't ready to go to bed.
Make me laugh, clown.
Yeah.
So, the PC culture is going to be really mad because in 6 days, Bill Burr is going to come out with his special on Netflix as well called Paper Tiger. And he's going to shit all over the same people that Dave Chappelle just shit on, but in a much more angry white guy way. So
that's going to be interesting to see.
Bill Burr, he's one of my favorite comics of all time.
Dude, he's so fucking funny.
Yeah. But the Monday morning podcast and on Thursday, he's a Thursday one too now, right?
Yeah.
They're hilarious. Him just this old white guy just ranting into the fucking microphone by himself. And it's funny because he's got a kid now and he's married to a black chick.
That's right.
Oh, he married that chick?
I think she's hot too.
Yeah, he's been married for like 5 years now.
Okay.
He's got a kid now, so.
But it's funny. I remember the Sweetest and I were listening to his stuff on Amazon Unlimited, and we were coming back from LA, and he was saying, like, we literally listened to his whole entire stand-up, like his CD or whatever audio. But But there was some shit he said on there that had me like I had to pull over because I was fucking dying laughing. It was so goddamn funny. But he's fucking hilarious. He's a really funny guy. Like one of my favorite things is when he talked about the whole I think I know what it was. It's when I think he did this on his HBO stand-up too, where he talks about the about the guy who he did tours in a helicopter.
Oh
and
yeah, that was so fucking funny.
And he gave it to his fucking son, and his son's first flight out, some guy decided to commit suicide. And he like opened up the fucking door to a helicopter and fucking jumped out.
Dude, it's one of the funniest fucking bits ever because he talks about it from both sides, like the helicopter guy, like him bringing the guy up, and basically after when the guy jumps out, and then he tells the whole story from like the guy that decides to commit suicide on the helicopter, like his whole day leading up to it, basically like him like, oh, I want to die because he was like in so much pain because he had some disease, and like basically him jumping out, he's like, oh yes, I'm finally gonna die, I'm so happy, and then he hits the water, bam, like he's still alive. He's like, what the fuck?
Shit,
that's all bad.
That shit's fucking funny.
Yeah, he's like one of the most underrated comedians of all fucking time. Just do me a favor. If you listen to this podcast, just hop on YouTube and just Google or just YouTube Bill Burr and listen to some of his like best ofs or just some of it, like his bits. He's so fucking funny.
Yeah. And what's cool about his Netflix special, the one with the helicopter story, is that it was shot, or at least you watch it in black and white.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. Even though every time I go back to think about it, I always remember it being in color, but yeah, it's in black and white. But yeah, so jumping back to Bad Boys for life. Yeah, I'm gonna see it. I like how they brought like a lot of the people back, like the captain, the police captain and stuff, the guy from the Matrix. And like the whole fact that Mike Larry is still fucking rich. Like how you gonna be a cop for so many fucking years and still be able to drive a fucking Ferrari?
I don't know.
Make them investments.
They never really went over that story.
Investments. No, because he already had his
and he had like a trust fund or something.
Baby. Yeah.
If you have millions, it's easy to keep millions.
Well, yeah.
If you invest right,
you
can
even invest fucked up. You can still be a millionaire. I mean, you don't even got to really invest. You just buy a couple properties, a couple apartment complexes. Bam, you don't do shit with it.
Well, you gotta be doing it well if you're driving a fucking Ferrari. He had we had a Ferrari, a Porsche. A few Ferraris, actually.
He had a couple. I mean, even, going back, The Blind Side. If you all ever seen that film, the family that adopted Michael Orr, they bought restaurant franchises. They made money after that. They owned several franchises. All you got to do is pop in every 6 months and tell them what to do, and then just collect checks. You don't really have to do shit. It runs itself.
Yeah.
Another thing I learned from the Dave Chappelle show is that apparently I wasn't poor when I was a kid. I was broke.
How were you live, Dad?
Yeah,
that was a good bit. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's in today's PC cancel culture. Yeah, I think it's tough to be a comedian. Like, in order to be cutting edge and be out in the front, you're gonna have to make those tough choices. If not, you're going to be a soft comedian.
It's not that hard. All right, so listen, this is the problem that I've noticed with most people that have a problem with Dave Chappelle and his stand-up routine. A lot of these motherfuckers, they just read what he said, and they said, "Oh, this is offensive to me." They didn't actually watch his special. Yeah. They're not fans of Dave. They're not even fans of fucking comedy because they're boring fucks. They don't actually know what's funny. So for comedians like Dave Chappelle, this is no problem at all. What it's a problem for is a comedian that's maybe like, "Oh, I don't know," they're kind of wishy-washy, and they decide to cater to the PC culture, and they decided to like change their bits. Don't do that. Just double down on your shit and just keep doing what's funny. What makes you money. Dave Chappelle's never gonna have a problem with that. Bill Burr's not gonna have a problem with that. Shit, fucking Joe Rogan's not gonna have a problem with that. Like most mainstream, not even mainstream, just most comedians that pull down a decent amount of money, they're not gonna change their bits for the PC culture. Like all the people I just talked about, Dave Chappelle, Bill Burr, Joe Rogan, all these other, like a bunch of other really funny comedians, they don't even do like college shows anymore because it's the same deal. Like the PC culture is so bad there, they're just like, fuck it, we just won't do it. First of all, they don't get paid shit for them, you know, and second of all, like they keep getting all this shit for no fucking reason for people that don't even have fucking developed brains yet, you know. So it's like, why even go through all that shit? Just make your money. Dave Chappelle's not gonna go broke after making this. He already got paid.
Yeah, he got paid $60 million for 3 bits. I don't know what it got paid
3
for
shows.
this current one.
3 shows.
3 shows. Yeah, 3 comedy shows, $60 million.
crazy.
Netflix paid that cash. Cha-ching.
Good
So,
for him.
Yeah, and it'll be fine. He'll make more. You know.
Oh yeah, I mean, because he had a bunch of shit happen with his last comedy special. People were complaining about it, and guess what? Netflix made another fucking one, and it's still there's people complaining about it. I'm pretty sure Netflix is gonna do another one with him because the shit probably. I mean, right now, like you said, it's 99% on Rotten Tomatoes, but even on Netflix itself, it's at 98%
Yeah.
as
people
far
are
as
watching
ratings and stuff.
it. Yeah, nobody's not watching it. I mean,
Yeah.
for the most part.
So kind of jumping back on the Will Smith thing, have you guys heard of this thing called deepfake? I've been meaning to talk about
Yes.
this.
Oh,
Yes.
jeez.
So in case you're out there, you know what deepfake is. So deepfake is it's first of all, it started off as a Reddit person who was able to like take pictures of celebrities and put them into like videos and stuff like that.
This happened first in porn, by the way.
Porn, basically, yeah, porn. But so I guess somebody started developing software that allows you to take images of basically celebrities and put them anywhere you want, and that's why it's called deepfake. But I'm watching a video right now. So if you didn't know, Will Smith was originally, or he was casted to be Neo in the Matrix franchise. So somebody went and posted a deepfake of Will Smith as fucking Neo in the Matrix, and it's pretty good. It's kind of weird because he still has Keanu Reeves' hair, but it's like it looks. There's no like weird edits or cuts or anything. It looks like fucking Will Smith. It's like a blend between Will Smith and Christopher Keanu Reeves.
No,
Yeah.
The crazy deepfakes is when you can make somebody say anything you want,
Yes.
right? Because if you're anybody that's been on this podcast, like all the main cast members, we've had enough audio out there for a computer program to go out there and basically replicate our voices to make us say whatever they want, and that shit is fucking scary. But they can do it. You know,
But like
they can do it.
with celebrities, since they're in like so many movies and TV shows, there's so many pictures out there, they can take those images of them and put into this program, and it will stitch everything together to make it look like that celebrity making certain even with like the lighting and stuff. It's fucking trippy.
Yeah,
Well,
I believe
I
it's
can show one.
it's AI based.
Yeah, it's AI
not?
based.
I'll show you a deepfake because I mean this one's already got demonetized anyway.
So if
But
you look at
we'll show.
I wonder if that goes
If you
hand
look
in
on-
hand with that aging bot thing that everyone was throwing their
oh,
photos
real,
at.
possibly.
Russia.
And we got an election coming.
Yeah.
So
we have election
there's a
coming.
deep fake of Amy Adams and it's Amy Adams from Man of Steel deep faked with Nicolas Cage. It looks fucking
I think
scary.
one of the most popular deepfakes is with Nicolas Cage. Like people put Nicolas Cage in fucking everything.
I saw
I think a really big popular deepfake was Harrison Ford's face in Solo. So they put his face over Eldridge.
All right, here we go. This is a deepfake of Nicolas Cage. It's a compilation of Nicolas Cage doing deepfakes. So,
Oh man.
are y'all ready for this nonsense right here?
So for those of you listening via audio, it's going to be,
The
I guess
listen-
we're going to have to describe as best we can.
Well, no, they'll be able to hear it. They'll know what this is from.
Oh.
You're looking well, Jean-Luc. Rest.
Holy
I'm
shit.
acting on orders.
Oh my god.
that's crazy.
How can there be an order to abandon the Prime Directive?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, it's not his voice though.
Not indigenous to this planet.
It's
They
a
were
little
never meant
wonky.
To be immortal.
A little, but
Simply be restoring
enough
them
to
their
pass.
natural
Mhm.
evolution.
I'm gonna steal the Declaration of Independence.
Him as a fucking rock now.
Now go ahead, grab a bunch, rapid fire right now.
not doing rapid fire.
They
Oh.
will not stop until you feed them.
What the fuck?
No.
Feed them. They're hungry.
I'll feed them.
Boom.
Oh.
Where the fuck is this one from?
This is from Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Oh, that's right.
Now go ahead, grab a bunch, rapid fire right now.
not doing rapid fire.
They will not stop until you feed them.
Feed
That's a
them?
bad one,
No.
though.
Yeah, this one's bad because his face is
I'll
flickering.
feed 'em.
Oh.
These aren't good ones though.
Nah.
Yeah, these are terrible ones. Sorry.
You out of the sword.
The first one was
This
the
is
best
bad.
one. With Jean-Luc and Nick Cage. That was
Yeah, yeah.
hella good. Oh my goodness.
But yeah, that's deep fakes. And like there's like a lot of celebrity porns out there you can find that are deep fakes, but
Oh yeah.
But I guess I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about this, and it's like, it's question: is it like, I guess it's unethical to be doing stuff like this for
unethical?
Yeah, that word. Fuck, I can't think of the word. But no, so it's like, you know, if a video got out of a celebrity having sex, but it's a deep fake, like, does it ruin the celebrity's career?
It can, because, I mean, when you first put it out, people are going to assume it's really them, especially if it's a really good deep fake. And when a celebrity is trying to defend themselves, sometimes they make them look guilty. Especially if you do a star that's been fucking up in the past. For instance, Lindsay Lohan. So if you do deep fake of Lindsay Lohan doing like a 5-man BBC gangbang and she has to defend it, are you really going to believe that she didn't do it? You're probably going to think she probably did that shit.
No, she's got a new album coming out with a track.
See?
Actually, it's kind of good.
Lindsay Lohan has music?
She's been doing music for a little. Yeah. She used to sing for Disney Channel. She used to be Disney.
She used to be decent. She was not on
before
all the drugs.
Before cocaine.
She used to be cute.
Yeah.
She
used to be cute, but then she used it too.
I used to do drugs, man. I mean, I still do, but I used to too. That's what that joke is from. That was Mitch Hedberg, another top 5 comedian right there.
Yeah.
Mitch Hedberg.
Gone too soon. OD.
Greatest one-liner of all time.
Oh, yes. Well, somebody, kind of jumping ahead a little bit, but somebody in the chat room, I can't remember who it was, had asked us.
Warrior Fella.
Yeah, Warrior Fella asked us for Ask BTBI question. Where is it? It was.
Oh, it's in the chat.
What are our top 5 comedians of all time?
Yeah. Oh no, it was.
Well, that's one of them. Yeah, that's 2 questions.
Oh, wait, no, it's the cosplay one I just saw right now.
Top 5 cosplayers?
Oh no, what's the best stand-up comedy special you've seen thus far?
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
So, in no particular order, Mitch Hedberg, Strategic Grill Locations, Dave Chappelle, Kill 'Em Softly, what was the guy's name? God damn it, Raw. Eddie Murphy Raw. There was one by, I forgot the guy's fucking name. Richard Pryor did a really funny one where he had like the Little Feet bit. I forget the name of the joke, or the name of the album, but my parents had the record. And probably one of the, Martin Lawrence had a really funny one back in the day.
Yeah,
I think it was called Talking Shit. I'm pretty sure it was called Talking Shit. That was fucking hilarious as well.
All right, so I'm gonna say, so Eddie Murphy Raw. That show's probably everybody's favorite.
Even though it's super fucked up, if you watch it
it's
now.
super fucking racist.
Yeah, it's
Well,
not even racist and like super homophobic.
It's super. Delirious was bad too.
Yeah,
and I think both of them were on fucking Netflix.
Still funny though.
Yeah, it's still funny. So Eddie Murphy Raw. I don't say Eddie Murphy Raw and Delirious, but I'm gonna put those two together. Mitch Hedberg. What was it called? It was All Together. Mitch Hedberg All Together. Yeah, that was fucking funny. I would say, like you said, Kill 'Em Softly by Dave Chappelle. I'm gonna say, I don't want to say his name, but fuck. Bill Cosby had a really funny fucking stand-up too.
Oh, Bill Cosby himself?
Yeah,
that was a good one.
That one's pretty fucking funny.
Good.
And I'm gonna say, I think Eddie Griffin's like Black and Purple, I think it was called, was fucking funny as hell too.
And there's probably one of Bill Burr that's in there for me too, but I can't remember a specific name of like his stand-up, but he's definitely one of my top 5 stand-up people of all time.
Yeah, I can't think of like the specific names of each one.
Okay, I mean, say the names then. Yeah.
My favorite one is the I think it's Bring the Pain, the Chris Rock one with the black people versus niggas.
Yeah.
That was fucking. That had me rolling.
That one was pretty funny.
Yeah, like books are like kryptonite to a nigga.
Yeah.
That was always one of my favorite. Dave Carlin's. I cannot remember the name of which one, but
Dave, you mean George Carlin?
George Carlin. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's got a bunch of good ones.
He's got hella good ones.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like the ones where he's talking about like, it's probably the same special you're thinking of, where like talking about getting all the criminals and putting them in like certain states, and then like in like one state, I think it was like Montana because it was square, and he opened up like a window. Like for 12 minutes a year,
some purge type.
Yeah. So and there's no rules inside the fucking.
Yeah.
Even
when he's talking about like his immune system and stuff, how he likes to test it. Or
I'll pick up a piece of food from the floor in Calcutta.
It was so good.
I was actually I was having my my oldest daughter watch some of his stand-up stuff. I had her watch some of the stuff right before he passed away, and that was not as funny. but like his older stuff, like in I think like the
80s,
late 80s,
Yeah.
early 90s, he was like his prime. You know,
He had some really good stuff back then.
you know that he had a special that he recorded on September 10th that didn't get released.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Huh.
So-
You still thinking?
The Eddie Griffin thing I was talking about.
I'm
was,
trying to remember like
It's Dysfunctional Family is the one I liked.
Oh.
That one's funny.
You're trying to think of the
because I used to watch a lot of like Def Comedy Jam back in the day,
Oh,
and those were
yeah.
just like little like even like because I remember Chris Tucker on there
So
before he like
when
blew up.
he
yeah.
first came out, if you rewatch that now, it is still hilarious to this day because when he first got introduced by Martin Lawrence, he does his first Michael Jackson stint where he talks about the Michael Jackson and Tito as pimps.
Yeah.
That bit is
Come here,
still
bitch.
fuck. That shit is still
my money?
funny. Yeah, that shit is still funny to this day.
Yeah.
Where it talks about where's my money, girl, where's my money, and like it's still fucking great. Like
Def
it-
Comedy
you
Jam was
can-
the best.
yeah, it was. I mean, a lot of people were on there. Like Bernie Mac was
Yeah.
on there back in
Oh,
the
I
day
forgot, yeah.
when he came out. I mean, that
Who was the guy that passed away?
I-
Robin
even should-
Harris was
Robin
a good
Harris,
one.
yeah.
Because he introduced the world to Bebe's kids. He was great back in then.
You know,
back in the day.
I'm gonna erase Bill Cosby off my list. Robin Williams, straight from Broadway.
Oh yeah.
That shit was funny because I've never seen Robin Williams talk so fucking dank in my life. Like he talks about some crazy ass fucking shit. It was fucking hilarious. So if you haven't watched that, check that shit out. I think
Dude.
it was like one of his last stand-ups.
Back in the day, in like the late '80s, early '90s, they were doing. HBO used to air Comic Relief. It was
Yeah.
a 24-hour
Like
comedy
marathon.
stint. So each comedian from like all over the world had half-hour stints. Some of them were being introduced, and a lot of them were big names. Like back in the day, there was Robin Williams, Whoopi Goldberg, Jerry Seinfeld. Like a lot of people were on this circuit back then. I remember there was a comic on there. I stayed up just to watch him. It was Charles Fleischer. He's actually, most people remember him as the voice of Roger Rabbit. He does amazing impressions. He was hilarious. He's still funny.
Nice.
He's really great. Obviously, Eddie Murphy Raw. That was a great one. Probably almost anything George Carlin did the last couple of years were very political, but not as funny. But he was still on point with his stuff.
If you go back and watch his stuff now, you know what's hilarious is like he's been talking about shit that was like way ahead of its time.
Yeah.
It holds up.
Yeah, it still holds up.
So George Carlin was the first person. I think he was the first one to introduce the masses to the acronym NIMBY, not in my backyard. He does a whole stint on that, and it still holds true to this day. It's hilarious. And then I think when Chris Tucker first came out at Def Jam, that's like comedy gold right there as well. There's just so many, but those are the ones that stand out for me.
Absolutely.
And all of these comedians had some kind of drama with the if you go back and watch your shit now, you're gonna have people complain about like, oh, I can't believe they said this, I can't believe they said that. It's like,
Yeah, it was a different era then. Like back then, Eddie Murphy was saying faggot like every 30 seconds.
Yeah.
and they were cool with it.
but that's kind of one of the things that Chappelle talked about too. Like, you know, if you go back in a lot of people's like comedians' history, you're gonna find
You'll find something.
some shit in there.
Well, everybody's got fucked up shit. I mean,
Yeah.
like we've all done something that's fucked up. We all know it. I mean, I've done shit that's fucked up in my past, and I grew up, you know, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it now. But yeah, I've done fucked up shit in the past, and everybody has. If you say you haven't, then you're lying to yourself, and you're a fucking psychopath. So you probably don't deserve to be living.
God dang,
I'm serious. Like people just want to pretend like
they're holier than thou.
yeah. It's just like you're not. You got problems too. Like everybody's got fucking problems.
Like,
So-
yo, shit don't stink.
So those of you who are probably sitting there listening to this, and you're like, no, I know this PTA mom. She has like 3 kids. She does everything right. I'm telling you, if you were put a camera at your PTA mom's house that doesn't do nothing wrong, I can bet you on the weekends there's like 4 or 5 black dudes going to her house on the weekend that you probably never seen in your life, but she knows them intimately.
I bet you in that PTA meeting, she's fucking through red wines and 2 Xanaxes in when you see her. So everybody's got the problems.
If you're wondering why the coach of your kid's Pop Warner team is always touching this one particular mom, there's probably something going on there. Not so innocent. Just saying.
But still, like, if you go back and watch Eddie Murphy Raw, It's kind of hard to watch.
Actually,
like only certain bits.
Yeah, even Eddie Murphy Delirious is
I
still
heard-
pretty fucking funny.
I heard he's supposed to be doing a comedy thing.
Yes, he's coming
Yeah,
back
on
Okay.
Netflix.
Yeah, he's doing.
Yeah.
He's coming back with a few projects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what happened was he was talking about it on Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee with
The Seinfeld.
Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah,
Yeah. I watch the show all the time. It's a really good show if you're into cars and comedians.
Wait, was it with Jay Leno or with Jerry
With that-
Seinfeld?
Jerry Seinfeld. That's who does Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee. It's with Jerry Seinfeld. He's the
Okay.
host.
Well, no, because I know Jay Leno's got a thing called something with cars or some shit like that. So I was.
Oh, he has his own like car show. But basically,
Yeah.
if you all know the premise of his show, Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, is that he takes comedians or people. It's usually comedians, and I'm pretty sure 100% comedians.
Yeah, I think that most of them are all comedians.
Yeah. So what he does is he picks a car that he thinks best suits a certain comedian's personality, and he picks him up in that car, and they go and have coffee and like probably a meal or something like that. And they just bullshit for the episode.
Well, he did one with Kanye though, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I thought it was like
Maybe he did. I don't know. But they're really good episodes. But he had one on with Eddie Murphy. It's like one of their longer episodes. And during the episode, I was like, Eddie Murphy still fucking got it. Like he's still funny. I'm just like, why isn't he doing stand up anymore? And they,
He's got 15 kids.
yeah. Well, he actually he talked about coming back to doing stand up, and then like sure enough, a couple days after that aired, he's coming back, and he got a deal with Netflix because Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee is now on Netflix. It used to be on like Vudu or some shit like that, or some other station, but yeah, so we got a deal with Netflix to come and do some specials with Netflix.
That'll
So
be
it should
good. That'll be really funny. To
Well,
see.
it'll be interesting to see like what he does. 'Cause I'm pretty sure I know why he stopped doing comedy, because he had kids, and like his comedy was real fucked up.
He said he like even the cursing stuff. Like he completely switched out like his movie roles that he was doing. He was doing like all like kid movie Shrek and I forget that other one where he's the
Ghost Dad and all that
the
shit.
space pirate.
Oh,
guy.
Pluto.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
forgot about that film. That film tanked. But we talked about this last week. There's a bunch of films that he was in that are kind of forgettable.
Dude, how many shows on Netflix does Marlon Wayne has? Holy shit.
I know, but I
I
know
don't find him funny.
Eddie Murphy's coming back to host SNL.
Yes. I
Yeah,
can see that.
he's like a resurgence of his career.
Yeah, I think it's he's supposed to do that like December like 23rd or something like that. Like I know it's in December. I can't remember when.
I'll
It's
tune
before
in to
Christmas.
watch that. I don't normally watch Saturday Night Live,
Me neither.
but I would tune in to watch that.
I mean, Saturday Night Live had a huge ratings bump when Chappelle hosted SNL,
Yeah.
and he was able to come in and like do his skits from his Chappelle show, which was crazy.
When The Rock goes on there, it's pretty funny too. The Rock cracks me up.
Oh, when The Rock did Bambi, like Bambi Part 2, that
Oh,
shit was
yeah, that's so fucking
hilarious.
funny.
Oh my god, I thought it was hilarious. But yeah, should we move on?
Did you guys talk about the Joker trailer last week? Or
Of course we did.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
Oathbreaker was
So
here.
what did you think?
I'll go watch it and everything. I mean, what sort of throws me off is like the director made these comments or whatever saying that like he did not take anything from the comics when he was making this movie and everything. So I've been on Oathbreaker's neck about how he's ride or die for this movie when the director is just like, yeah, I didn't use anything from the comics in what I created my vision for the Joker, which I was like, you shit on Spider-Man nonstop when there's one thing off from the comics and that, but you are ride or die.
It's more than just one though.
Well, just
outta
him
here.
him in general. But if the director himself says I didn't use anything, and that is I think it's Todd Phillips' director. That was
Well,
his fucking
okay,
quote.
Let me bring up one thing though. Okay, we had similar thoughts about Patty Jenkins directing Wonder Woman, so I think we should just reserve our opinions until we all see it. Like, to me, it looked like an interesting movie. Like, just outside of like comic book movies.
Trailer. That's completely understand. But my whole thing was the director said this specifically.
Yeah, well, let's talk about
Yeah.
Wonder Woman, because Patty Jenkins was like, "Oh, I'm gonna make her a compassionate Wonder Woman," and we were all like, "No, she needs to kick ass." In the movie, she was kick ass. Like she did a good job. So, like, I'll reserve my judgment. Obviously, this guy is not fucking Patty Jenkins. It could be a terrible movie. You're totally right. I don't know. It's a well put together trailer for me. As far as like direction, it's going in a different direction than most comic book movies.
Like I know where you're coming from, because like when I saw the first trailer, I was like, this ain't my fucking Joker. Like there's no taste, flavor, or anything of the Joker in this. But the second trailer had me a little hooked, just because it kind of seemed like he was doing more Joker-ish shit, as far as like origin story goes with the Joker. I mean, because the director can say up and down like he didn't pull anything from the comics, but he had to pull something if he was going to be doing a fucking Joker. Like there's got to be some.
I don't get why would
shit
you even
on.
say that? What do you?
Probably trying to be interesting. It's like saying that I'm gonna make a movie about Zeus, but I never was into Greek mythology.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like this shouldn't make any sense.
Like you have to know about this character to be able to make a movie, unless it's about a guy who decided to become a fucking comedian or some shit like that. But even then, that's the fucking Joker.
Yeah, and then it was. Did we guys talk about how I guess people are trying to latch on and saying this is going to be the new white male fucking hero or whatever?
As if that sort of violence didn't exist before this movie.
Right.
We just had shootings the other day. That's why some white guy was in his 30s.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here. It wasn't because of the Joker. They're so fucking stupid. People are so stupid.
It's fucking hilarious.
Call to arms or some shit.
The shooting that happened in Louisiana, was it Louisiana? The one that happened in the movie theaters?
Probably. I mean, there's.
Well, no, the one that
Aurora. That was Aurora.
Yeah, the one that was during a Batman movie, right?
Yeah, the premiere of the.
Yeah, the
Dark
guy.
Knight Rises.
Yeah, didn't the guy said he was like I guess influenced by the Joke or some shit, or maybe I don't remember his hair being green. That's all I fucking remember.
I just remember his mug shot, and like
Yeah,
that's
that's all I
why
remember.
I don't know his name.
Yeah.
All I know is that he shot up the movie theater and he had shit in his house that was like booby trapped or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, not to get sidetrailed, I'm like, that's why I don't really mind when they divulge into this guy who he was and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't own any real estate in my head or whatever. I don't know his name. I don't know the guy who shot up Vegas. I don't know the guy who shot up Pulse. I can't remember the guy who shot up fucking Gilroy 2 weeks ago or whatever. I mean, it just goes into the recycle bin or whatever.
For some people, though, it does strike the
Well,
chord.
yeah.
That's the problem. You're rational. People out there are not rational. So obviously, if you shoot up like a whole building full of people, it's not rational. Anyway, y'all are not reading The House or Powers of X, are you?
No,
It looked pretty good. But I mean, I only saw the cover art and stuff like that, but
You need to read
pretty
it.
fucking dope.
Need to read it. It's
Comic
like
book.
it's a comic book, but it's basically the only thing I don't like about it is that it alternates books, and that's fucking annoying to me.
Oh, God.
But they do it in like a way. So basically, it's House of X and Powers of X, and it's just you alternate back and forth.
Okay.
But it's all like one cohesive book. So that's why I'm like, why don't you just fucking call it The House and Powers of X?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? And just did 1 through fucking 12. Anyway, a couple things I'm happy about. First of all, the story is excellent. It's probably the best. Yeah, it is. Right now, it's the best Marvel story that there is. Hands down. And second of all, it's a Hickman book, Jonathan Hickman, and it's on fucking schedule. So, Jonathan Hickman in the recent past has had a lot of books that have been way off schedule. I'm looking at you, Black Monday Murders, and fucking Dying in the Dead. Like, those haven't finished, and I have no idea when the next ones are coming out. And it's fucking awful because I love those stories. And the same thing with East of West. Like, it's very off schedule. Like, I know they're coming, but it's like maybe every month, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know.
Right.
But this one is on schedule. Like, when I saw them put out like in the back of the book, like when they're gonna come out, I was like, oh, they're not gonna do that shit. But they're literally on time. But if you're an X-Men fan, this book is for you. It's basically a story of how Xavier and Magneto come together and decide to make their own mutant nation. And then basically, and it's on like multiple, like even different planets. Like they're just kind of like, fuck humanity. We're gonna be our own like sovereign nation, and y'all can't fuck with us. And basically, like I think it was like the first issue where they just kind of threw the gauntlet down. It was like, look, we're gonna do this, and if you don't like it, we're our own sovereign nation. If you want to fight us, then fucking come at us.
Right.
So, and it's really interesting because I don't know if it's a new character because I haven't been into like X-Men in a while, but Moira X is apparently a mutant that has, I don't want to say the power because if you haven't, actually no, fuck it. That comic's been out for a while. Moira X is a mutant that has a mutant power to where she dies, she gets basically reincarnated and comes back at pretty much the same timeline. So if she was born in like 1963 and she gets killed in 1993, she goes back to 1963 and gets born again.
Oh.
Wait, what the? Wow, that's
And
great.
So how does that?
So she basically relives her life again?
Yeah, but she can change what she does in her life.
But how does that affect like her doing shit in fighting and?
Yeah, so what it becomes a big deal is because there's a certain event that's going to happen in the future for like mutants and humans to where all mutant kind is going to get wiped out. And so she's trying to figure out a way of like a different combination of how to not get the mutants all wiped out.
And
so
she can only travel back in time when she dies.
Yes, she has to figure out like who do I ally with that's a mutant, or who do I try to kill that's a human, and how do I get around like this problem. And so she ends up like trying different, and it's cool because like the way Hickman does like his really good books is that he has like these whole pages that are not an actual comic, but it shows like literal timelines or literal just texts or literal just like explanations of like things. Like he has literally like 3 or 4 pages dedicated to just like the Krakoan language, which is like the mutant language.
Okay.
So the Krakoan language, like you can only learn if you go to the nation of Krakoa, which is like the mutant nation, and there's like a certain being that imprints the whole language on you that nobody else can understand. And so he does like a thing where like he shows like this woman's whole timeline where it's like more than 10 times of her like living and dying and trying different combinations out with like, okay, well I see now that, you know, my normal life didn't work. They figured out I was a mutant. Or she didn't even figure out she was a mutant. She like lived her whole life and fucking died as an old lady with kids. And then she got born again, but she retained all her memories. And she's like, oh, am I a mutant? And then she dies again after like a certain amount of time. And she's like, well, shit, I am a mutant. Like, who can I help? And then she figures out like, you know, Professor X, then Magneto, Apocalypse, all those other people, and they all end up like the same fate. Like they all end up like dying. And she's like, how can I fix like this mutant problem of like us all dying? And it's like her combination of like, do I help Magneto? Do I try to get Magneto and Professor X to help, you know, each other? Do I get Apocalypse to help everybody? You know, like what do I do? And it's like, it's really, really a good story.
Okay.
It's really definitely worth reading. And it's last issue, which I'm not going to talk about at all, but I didn't see shit coming, and it's real fucked up. And it's issue 4 of like the House of X. So
Okay. I'm trying to see if it's on my Marvel Unlimited app.
It should be, I hope.
Sometimes it comes out a little bit like later.
delay?
Yeah.
When you said the House of X, I thought it was like the House of Lex Luthor.
Oh no, the House of Lex. No, it's House and Powers of X. If you want to borrow my comics, I could probably grab them from somewhere, but you got to give me like a week because I got to find them. Because I know I have the House of X number 4 like out, but I don't have the other ones out.
You probably need to build another Infinity base to hold all your comics.
For real, it's getting ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like a gun locker
Once you get
transformed into a comic locker.
Well, so we're gonna work on the Infinity base. Glad you brought that up. Over the weekend, me and my father-in-law and I guess Blue's gonna help me in the morning.
Yeah, I'll be there in the morning.
So we're gonna try to get some more of the walls done, but I need to get I need to get shit in that fucking other place in the Infinity base because my house is getting cramped. I'm having way too many comic books right now, and nothing's like organized. But I need to get it finished, and we had a setback for like basically like 2 months, but now it's done with, and we'll get back to like getting it finished. So we're real close to getting it done.
Yeah.
Real close.
We've each put in some time into it.
Yeah.
So it's good.
I would say it's probably like 80 to 85% done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice.
Anyway, anything else?
I need to borrow your table saw one day. Or at least I guess I can bring the wood here to
Table
saw
saw.
it.
Oh,
the
table
chop saw?
saw.
Yeah.
I thought you said table salt. I'm like, bro, you can't buy salt?
It's a chop saw.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I need to cut some wood.
Speaking
Of wood?
no,
Oh.
anime. Did y'all see this about Funimation? About what happened with Dragon Ball Z's voice actor stuff?
I did not.
So
pretty
apparently, there's been some audio file that's been leaked. I don't know who leaked it. Apparently, no one knows as of yet, or at this time. But there's a audio file showing the voice actors at Funimation in the studios making homophobic, incestual, and racist comics in the Dragon Ball Z characters. It's leaked out into the net, and it's been causing a huge stir. People are calling, like, maybe these people should be fired, like, what's going on? There's been, this popped off, I want to say Thursday, Friday-ish. It's been all over Twitter. There's been articles already. Y'all haven't heard about this.
No, that's the first time I'm hearing about it.
out there.
Yeah,
So these were the actual voice actors.
voice actors doing English
English dubs.
English dub. So, and apparently this comes after the heels of like one of the voice actors
Well, now I'm
trying
curious.
to soothe them.
Hold on. I want to hear it now.
With our training regime. Will you guys suck me off until I come all over your faces?
Whoa.
Shit.
Clothes. Faggot, fag, fucking fag. My son's a fag.
Wow.
Is that really them
Yeah,
though?
I'm carrying a
Yeah.
few extra pounds around myself.
It's been
Not much time to
confirmed.
work out. Keeping them happy is a full-time job. Especially that bitch on the right. God damn, you try to keep that bitch happy? It's impossible. I just give her food, I give her presents, I give her rings, I give her any... I'm sorry.
Well, you know, I wouldn't keep anything from my fans. Not even this gorgeous cock.
That's kind of funny.
Hold on. All right. So I understand that like that's out there, but I'm not really sure if that's really the voice actors. The only reason why I'm saying that is because if you watch if you listen to the beginning of this our episodes for like the longest time now, the over 9,000 thing, that's not the Vegeta voice actor. Like in the beginning it is, but when there's like certain parts, it's not even Nappa. Like it's not those voice actors. It's somebody that's really good at impersonating them.
Well-
and I know it for a fact because that's not what they say.
So, Funimation has responded about this controversy.
All right.
So,
Well, what did they respond with?
I didn't read this whole thing.
Well,
this
that's
is
fucking
new.
important. Jesus Christ.
I'm reading it just right now.
They could have said Cronus is right. It's not the voice actors.
Holy shit.
I was like, oh, I didn't see that they responded because this just recently happened over the weekend. So it's just like, what the fuck?
Killed it.
I'm
kill it.
trying to, because the recent video thing I see is from 5 hours ago.
Oh, this is a different response.
Oh, it's
Never
a
mind.
blog though. See this stuff. Jesus Christ, I have a problem with like reading blogs for news. I see a lot of people like in my news feed, especially right wing folks, that they give like news stories that are
From a
blogs.
blog post?
It's like you don't give me news from fucking WordPress.com.
Exactly. Yeah.
What
I'm
the
the same
fuck?
way. And like, don't fucking link your article with blogspot dot whatever.
Yeah.
Fucking.
So at least this
Eagle
article,
Claw patriotflag.com. Like, get the fuck out of here. That's
this
not a
article
fucking
I'm
reputable source.
looking at right now says Funimation has yet to respond publicly to the allegations.
All right. Well, I guess.
Well, yeah. And Savage haven't responded either on Twitter.
So they're saying that this.
But he hasn't
audio
tweeted since August 22nd, since it's been leaked.
Yeah, so it's been like a week or so. So they're saying that this is on the heels of the company amidst a legal battle with voice actor Vic Magnoga, who cut ties with them after reports of sexual misconduct.
I mean, I hope it's not true.
Yeah, me too, but
Because I don't know, but I've seen there's a lot of people that seriously are really good at doing impersonations. Like I literally said,
there's-
our intro is an impersonation of Vegeta and Nappa.
there's literally a YouTube channel called Dragon Ball's Bigot. I can't remember how it's pronounced, but they basically take clips from Dragon Ball Z and like shorten it down, but they like change the audio a whole lot, and it's so fucking funny. Shit, what is it called? Let me see. It's called Dragon Balls.
I have no idea.
It's a really popular YouTube channel. They go through each episode and they break it down to like a different abridgment. That's what it's called.
Oh shit!
Dragon Ball abridgment. Abridged? Wait, fuck.
Abridged?
Yeah, abridged. And it's fucking funny. If you go back and if you go to watch it, it's really fucking funny. Like there'd be a scene where Goku meets his real brother for the first time, and he's like, "No fucking way, you're my brother." And he's like, "I am your brother, Kakarot." And it's just fucking funny. You should check it out. But yeah, anybody can dub the voices, but we'll wait and see what Funimation says.
Well, like I said, I hope it's not true.
I hope it's not true either. But some of that shit was funny though.
Yeah. All right. Y'all want to wrap it up?
Did we cover
That
everything?
far in. I mean,
Did we miss something?
we got time if you want to talk about something else.
Let me double check the list because I did
Well,
not.
we don't need to stretch for time.
We
so
don't,
it's fine.
but I'm just wanting to make sure if we covered everything that we want to.
Well, there's one thing that's been on here for a while we haven't talked about. So apparently there's been a petition, which I signed by the way, of Joe Rogan hosting a debate for the presidential candidates, which I'm fine with, but it'd be a long ass fucking debate.
Aren't the debates long to begin with?
No, the debates are fucking bullshit. The debates are so fucking. I mean, as far as like overall time, yeah, I guess they're like an hour to 2 hours long. But as far as like the amount of time that people have to talk, it's fucking nonsense. They get like 30-second sound bites. Like I don't know if you guys are paid. Any of you guys watch the actual debate?
No, I just
only
watched
saw, like
the
bits and pieces or
yeah,
like
the clips like after the day
broken
when people
down-
cut them up. Yeah.
Well, that's what they do them for. Is for the
abridged.
clips.
Yeah.
Like I watched the actual debates, and it's just like, it's such a ridiculous concept. Like you can't talk about all your things that you're gonna want to talk about in like 30-second sound bites. It's fucking dumb.
Yeah.
So no, I didn't want to sit and listen to them like kind of fumble because, like you said, they have very limited time, and there's a shit ton of people. At least at the Democratic one, there was a bunch of candidates up there, so it's like holy shit.
Well, I think once they narrow it down, hopefully they'll have better questions. Because what bothers me is that in some of these debates, they have like an agenda. Like CNN did it really bad last time, where like they tried to get people to attack each other, and it's just like, why are you trying to get them to attack each other? Like just have them talk about their policies, and that should be it.
Yeah.
that should be enough.
That's like some high school shit. You're trying to get the two
Yeah.
people like to talk shit about each other.
Oh, we talked about your mama. And it's just like, dude, like for real? Like what the fuck?
I'm gonna extend lunches, but lower study time like your dad's penis.
What the fuck?
I don't know.
Anyway, we will end on that, I guess.
Yeah.
Sure.
I kind of want to talk. I mean, Breaker of Oath isn't here, but I really wanted to talk about this fucking Demon Slayer shit because
Oh, we can talk about it.
this
Yeah.
anime is every episode is just fucking fire.
Wait, what's this about this bartender shit?
What bartender?
Oh, sorry. Shit, I almost forgot.
Oh, let's go
we'll
with
talk about
that.
Demon Slayer in a second. So this is a shout out to a guy named Clay the Bartender. He's on YouTube as Clay the Bartender. He hit us up on not on YouTube, but on Instagram.
Instagram, yeah.
Okay.
He's on
Saw that.
Instagram. He hit us up and he was talking about how he was listening to us talk about shitty bartenders, and he listened to the show, and he was saying how we should come out and like check out his. He's a bartender at a place called Here's How Bar, and it's in Oakland. I actually I looked it up, and it looked actually beyond legit. So apparently it was started by a woman who owns a bunch of restaurants in San Francisco.
Mm.
I mean, it's restaurants and bars. And it looked like they have really good drinks. And they have a bunch of pre-made drinks as well.
I'm down.
You can get in, like cans and shit. So and it's not far from Cape and Cowell. So there's some stuff I want to do. We'll talk about like kind of after the podcast, where I want to do some events with this guy, having him as a bartender, and like do like a sort of like get to know us better and like chill out and stuff, or hopefully getting something together with like Cape and Cowell and having like drinks and comics or something like that. So,
Well, like I had my little spin-off I wanted to do. It's called Drunk Blues Adventure. But I never really got around to really doing it. But like I had bars like down for me to come there and film like me talking to the bartenders and drinking and
it's
shit like
perfect
that.
for
But
yeah.
just too much. I don't think I can handle all that drinking.
Well, and also having him like when the Infinity Base is done, like having him come out and then just like show how to make drinks.
My question is, how do you make your old fashioned?
Yeah,
I literally, as you said
judge
that,
you
I
on that.
pulled up that
Yeah,
photo.
they-
right
they-
there. It looks
yeah.
pretty good.
I am gonna be there tomorrow.
Oh,
I wonder if he'll recognize me if I went.
Maybe.
I don't
If I
know.
start talking
Do
like,
you really watch a podcast though?
I
Yeah,
have to ask
no,
her.
hopefully. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot.
I'm gonna go in
to-
incognito.
You're Andre always. I forgot to
Place looks
mention
mad cool.
that
Yeah, it looks really cool. Yeah, food
Crunchyroll
too.
Crunchyroll Expo. I ran into YouTube, like I guess sensation King Vader.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got a picture with him. It's on our Instagram. I guess it was his first time at Crunchyroll Expo, and he was debuting his like new film. So he showed up with his squad and was promoting the film. I did not get a chance to watch. I told him unfortunately I couldn't make it, but he was there. It's first time meeting him, so it was cool. That guy's really tall. I want to say he's like 6'6" or some shit. He's pretty fucking tall, but he was cool. He was a cool guy.
I've only met like one YouTuber like in person. Like there's a YouTube channel I watch called Domix. He does animation, and he's a huge anime fan. Like some of the animes I've recommended stuff he's recommended, and I watched it. I was like, okay, this is fucking good. Like Eraser was one of them, but I met him in person, and sometimes it's weird meeting celebrities in person. It's like
Sometimes.
I mean, he's not like it's weird because like I don't see him as a celebrity since he's just on YouTube. But like he's a celebrity in like a sense of the word. But it's like because I guess I'm part of a different generation where celebrities is like people see on a movie screen.
Yeah.
Where he's like a guy he's making videos and stuff like that.
Yep. Well,
But it was still really cool, and like, you know, I love his content. It's so fucking funny to watch.
I totally understand where you're coming from. It's like weird because people are like a sensation on YouTube, which has millions of videos of like hundreds of millions of people on there or whatever. But it was weird because like King Vader had like a crowd like pop around him, so I was like, oh, he must be like all these people like, oh, dude, I watch your videos on YouTube. I saw this, I saw that. I'm a totally huge fan. So it's like, yeah, this guy's kind of a celebrity. Like people, I recognized him when I saw him. I was like, dude, I just watched your like Hood Power Rangers like a few days ago, and like he had like this like Hood version of James Vaughn. It's pretty fucking funny, but yeah, it's just weird seeing that you can be popular on like streaming service and have like groupies and whatnot.
It is, yeah. What's also weird when like people notice us like outside of
Yeah,
people notice like cons and shit. It's like, oh, you know, that's always gonna be weird to me, probably.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
It'll be weird when we get surrounded by like a mob of fans.
Yeah,
that's gonna be real weird.
Want to hear something really weird? I had a crazy ass dream about Liza Koshy last night.
Whom did it?
The hot chick from YouTube, Liza Koshy. She's a
The
little
one that sold
Indian
the-
white girl.
I know
yeah.
what you're talking about now. Okay, yeah.
Dude, I had the most craziest dream about her last night, and I'm like, I watch her content, but I haven't seen anything from her in like the longest time. I don't even know why she's in my dreams, but she was in my dreams.
Oh, jeez.
Just don't tell the students.
well,
No.
don't listen to the
world.
podcast, right?
Yeah.
No.
All right, wrap it up.
Sounds about good.
Yeah, we can wrap it up. I gotta go home and do some painting and shit.
Who's sending us out?
I'll send this out. Since you just said who's sending this out, what you doing this weekend? What did you do?
Not a whole lot. Playing more Control. So I've been twitching out a lot of Control on our Twitch page. You can catch me fail a lot trying to figure out the game and watch this weird graphical slowdown. Like, I guess maybe we are due for a new console generation because you can see that if you have like just a regular PS4 or a regular Xbox, this will test your system. There were parts where the frame rate will drop really, really fucking low because there's hella shit going on the screen. If you have a Xbox One X or a PS4 Pro, apparently this is minimized by that. So I've been working through that. I mean, it doesn't happen a lot. It's really only happened to me once, and it's really, really fucking bad. You can watch one of the videos. You can see it almost becomes unplayable.
Goddamn.
Almost. But it's only happened once. The rest of the game's been good so far. I've been playing some Apex. Apex updated with the new event. So you can see the map has changed again with a new area. So I've been playing that. You'll see some more of that on our Twitch page as well. Going to try to put in some work into the Infinity Base if I can. Hopefully try to make it out. I feel like I'm missing another event. There's no one cons or whatnot, right? No.
I don't think anything's happened this weekend.
Yeah. No, it's next weekend. I'm going to Star Wars Day for the Giants. It's on a Sunday. Going to that.
Yeah.
So I believe that's next Sunday. But other than that, that's it.
Stitch, what you got popping?
Doing some gaming. Answering the Amazon delivery guy packages that he drops off for baby stuff. It's hilarious because it's just new packages. She's got shopping nesting, or what I guess they call it nesting or whatever. Mm-hmm. So everything that she sees, I need this. Yeah. So dealing with that whole thing where we're just sort of getting space and everything figured out and all the good stuff that we need.
Does the professor still live with you?
No.
Okay.
No. He moved in with his girl or whatever. Then I've been playing a lot of DayZ. The game is fun. I've jumped on like a whole daytime only server because normally it cycles between day and night, and the night cycle is about a good hour. Where it's like if you don't have a light or anything like that, you can't see shit. or whatever. But it's a good chance you'll get fucked up, and you just sort of kind of chill in your base or do whatever. But the one I jumped on today, it's all daytime, 24/7. So, and it was really high populated. So it's just a fucking purge of people just fucking going around killing each other and shit. It was really fun. It was a lot of action. Knocked some dude out and then took his shoes and threw him in the fucking ocean. Yeah, because if you walk around barefoot, your feet will start to bleed and you'll start to like die slowly.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so just take their shoes, fucking either run off with them or whatever they got to figure it out.
What game is this
It's fucked up.
DayZ.
Damn.
Yeah, it was fucking hilarious. We were cracking up, and you can also feed them. And then after they die, you can cut them up, and you can. If you eat the person's meat, you get this like cannibal laugh and stuff. Like if you keep eating people, but so we were knocking them out, taking their shoes, and then feeding them fucking human meat. So they have this like laugh that can't go away unless their character dies, and we're just like, all right, peace out.
Damn, that's fucked up shit.
It was fucking hilarious.
That's fucked up.
So I was enjoying that. I'll try to twitch some of it out and get some good clips of us doing some.
And
fucked
is
up
that
shit.
you're playing on PS4?
Yeah, it was. I guess it was originally Arma or something.
Oh, Armor game. Okay.
Yeah, but then they made a mod to involve like zombies and shit.
Armor
like
was
that.
boring as fuck.
You're just doing a lot of running around and
Yeah.
just fucking finding gear, crafting shit or whatever.
When I was in Iraq, people tried to get me to play that game. I started playing. I was like, "This is the most boring fucking game. Like, why the fuck are you trying to get me to play this game? Like, if I want to play something this boring, I just go out and fucking shoot somebody. Like, seriously, like, what the fuck?"
It was fucking hilarious. But yeah, that's what I've been up to.
All right, Cronus, who you choking out this weekend?
Well, I'm just trying to get the fucking shed done. Shout out to DX Racer. It's the maker of this chair that I'm in. They're not sponsoring this podcast, obviously. But the chair got here and like it had a broken part. It was like a little tab that makes the arms go up and down, like the armrest. And I sent them an email and I was like, "Yo, this part came in, like the left one is broken, like the tab broke off." And they messaged me back within like a day. Within a day, and they're gonna send me a whole new left arm rest. So
I thought they're gonna send you like a whole new arm, like take this one off.
Bionic
it's gonna
arm.
be more yoked arm. No, but yeah, they're gonna send me back one. It was like super easy to do my claim, and yeah, it's kind of nice to have that level of customer support. I sent them the pictures and everything, so it was just like they have really no recourse to be like, "No, it ain't broken."
No.
Yeah, it was like legit broken.
It's all you, man.
Yeah, I mean, technically it still works, but it's just like it's hard for me to like lift it up and down. Other than that, yeah, just the shed, doing jiu-jitsu tomorrow and Friday, and then next week I have to go into the fucking office all week. It's gonna be fucking awful. It's gonna be. I haven't worked like next week is gonna be a 6-day work week for me, and I have to go into the office for 5 fucking days straight. Hopefully I don't kill nobody. I'm just saying. We'll see how it works. Anyway, that's all I got.
But if you did, I would understand. So for me, I'm gonna help out in the shed. Like if you didn't know already, this week and I bought a house, so we're doing like a whole bunch of like home improvement stuff. So I've been doing a lot of painting. Hopefully, I should have my fucking home office done today, so I can start setting my VR and fucking play VR in like a larger fucking workspace. Cause I've been playing in cause VR you need at least like 6 feet by 6 feet room, and I've been pushing like the limits of that. Like, like I'm like 5 and 5.5 feet shit trying to play games and shit like that. Like there'll be points of the game where like something will be like down on the floor, but I can't reach it because my fucking couch is in the way. So I'm like, oh fuck, and I gotta play the game. Like, so there's a bunch of games I gotta play. But yeah, I'm doing that. I got a photo shoot happening this weekend. I'm taking pictures of Kay Nassa. Remember her?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
She got married, right?
Yeah, I'm doing a photo shoot of her. And yeah, other than that, probably drinking and home improvement. Yeah, there you go.
Drunk Blue out there.
Take us out of here. Over to you.
All right, check us out on the internet. We are Black and Black times Infinity. Check us out with at BTHAABTI on Player FM, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts. On YouTube, we go live every Wednesday night, 8:30 Pacific time. Look for us on there, Black and Black times Infinity. On Amazon, we have an app on there. Also on Radio Republic, we're on there. And check out our official website, binheadproductions.com/BTI. And then on Twitch, look for us, BTI. Yeah.
They're fucking everywhere.
Everywhere. Google us.
They know about us.
They know.
Oh, look up Selma Hayek. Happy birthday to her. She's fine as fuck.
That's serious.